Donald Trump's name on the presidential election ballot. The court has ruled Mr. Trump ineligible to run for president, citing the 14th Amendment's insurrection clause. The Trump campaign says the ruling is un-American and says it will appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. 12,600 people encountered by Customs and Border Protection on Monday along the southern border. It's thought to be the highest single-day number since record-keeping began back in 1960. The surge has many Trump voters like Debbie Hopper in Iowa longing for the days of Trump immigration and border policy.
Well, I think it's his personality. He really wants to do what's best for America. And that's what everybody wants, really, when you come down to it. And I think he can do it.
And Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says that tackling the immigration issue is long overdue.
I think we haven't passed a significant immigration bill since Reagan's second term. And so this is not easy, but we're working hard to get an outcome because the country needs it, and the country needs it soon.
Republicans insist on making immigration reform and beefed up border security part of any aid package for Ukraine, but the White House and Democrats have resisted that, so President Biden's aid proposal remains stalled on Capitol Hill. Negotiations are continuing in attempts to get another ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. A TV news helicopter crashed in southern New Jersey last night, leaving 2 people, the pilot and a photographer, dead. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, Dow futures down 64 points, NASDAQ futures off 39 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's something for all you gentlemen that haven't gotten your special someone a holiday gift yet. This Christmas, Pajamagram has your back with a deluxe gift set for that special lady in your life. This gift set includes the smooth satin nightgown and robe, plus a free satin eye mask, all wrapped in an elegant satin keepsake bag. That's 4 gifts delivered right to your door, ready to go under the tree. She'll love it. And what about the other wonderful women you'd love to spoil this holiday season? Whether it's your wife, sister, daughter, or your mom, Pajamagram has you covered. Go to Pajamagram.com and see all they have to offer, including luxurious velvet sets, cozy signature fleece sets, matching couple and family sets, and so much more. Make your gift even more special by adding a name or monogram to any of their personalized pajamas. Everyone loves pajamas, and a Pajamagram is the perfect way to treat someone to a little relaxation. Visit Pajamagram.com today.
An Iranian woman has reportedly been executed for killing her husband, who she had accused of domestic violence.
Samira Sabzian was arrested at the age of 19, 10 years ago. She was found guilty of murdering her husband, to whom she was married when she was just 15. The Oslo-based Iran human rights group says she was hanged at dawn in Gezel Hassad prison, despite international calls for Iran not to carry out the sentence. Her execution has not as yet been confirmed by Iranian officials. Iran Human Rights says she was a victim of years of what it calls gender apartheid, child marriage and domestic violence. The group says she's the 18th woman to be executed in Iran this year.
The BBC's Sebastian Usher. More than 300 firefighters battling a blaze on the slopes of a mountain near Cape Town, South Africa for a second day. Emergency services say 5 firefighters have been hurt, 2 taken to the hospital. News and analysis at townhall.com. Some states trying to figure out what to do with stockpiles of personal protective equipment left over from the pandemic. A lot of it's already gone to waste, to the tune of tens of millions of dollars.
Some of that PPE has been disposed of, either because it's expired or no one is willing to take it. An Associated Press investigation found that a little more than 15 states disposed of more than 18 million masks, 22 million gowns, 500,000 gloves, and more. Rhode Island says it shredded and recycled 829 tons of PPE, and Maryland disposed of more than $93 million in supplies. Expiration dates on PPE are set to ensure the equipment works as needed. I'm Donna Warder.
The family of an elder in a Chinese church says he has been detained on allegations of fraud. A U.S.-based Christian rights group says part of a larger crackdown by Chinese authorities on house churches. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The abolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes.
The back half of the week till Christmas here. Starting that now officially. So, happy Wednesday.
Yeah. Normally this time of year, sales is like, okay, we're going to take some time and relax a little bit. But now we've got these new cats hitting the ground running. So this has been one of the busiest pre-Christmas weeks I think we've ever had.
Yeah, maybe.
It feels that way.
It's not as bad. I've actually seen some worse.
Have you?
Many moons ago. But yeah, I mean, as far as busy, I'm not saying work, I say busy.
No.
But happy midweek.
Yes.
It's I think we're now in that mode where people are trying to scramble to get whatever last minute so they can shut down for the Christmas holiday. So I think today and tomorrow are going to be those crazy days.
Yep.
And then Friday's just going to be a complete, everyone's in Christmas mode, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's my prediction.
That would be nice.
It does feel weird that Christmas is on a Monday. It just kind of, it kind of doesn't flow with the schedule as other, you know.
It does throw things off a bit, yes.
Yeah, so not that I'm complaining. In theory, it kind of feels like it shortens the week between Christmas and New Year's to me.
You know what it is? It's almost like that throwaway week that we had after Thanksgiving before December started.
Yeah.
It feels like that's the time that we made up it's like we made it up in the back end, so to speak, you know? Like that's the prep time that we sort of like wasted.
Yeah. Because it was, and part of it too is it's, and I think it's basketball because we go right from Christmas and then one day and then boom, Pro-Core tournament.
Yep.
And usually there feels like there's a couple days in between that and when the Pro-Corn starts. But because Christmas is on a Monday, it kind of shortens, in theory, that middle week.
Right.
By, you know, as far as work days, I guess you could say, because they don't do the Pro-Corn on a weekend.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it like, all right, Christmas, all right, let's get ready for Pro-Corn. And then right after that, it's like, Happy New Year.
Exactly.
You know, it just seems like it's, whoa, what happened?
I think this year I'm going to have more. Normally I have a tough time transitioning, like when I'm writing checks or whatever. The year, I feel like this is going to be one of those years I'm going to struggle. I've already really had a hard time putting 24 on things.
Yeah.
Like I've already run into a couple of walls.
Yeah.
And we're not even there yet.
I think it's because we get older. Like younger people, it's like, oh yeah, you know, for us.
23 seemed like such an easy, like I had no problem with the 23, but for some reason 24 has really been tripping me up.
Yeah. I think our older brain is just like, all right, we're set there. You know, what year are we again? 23, 24,
I miss
27?
elasticity. Doggone brain elasticity was so good.
Well, and it's weird because it seems like COVID was yesterday, but that's going on 4 years now.
I know.
It's crazy.
I know. Dude, I had literally one of those first thoughts that went through my head when I woke up the other morning was, we are as far away right now from the 90s as the 90s was from the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some of those, like, you know, we're closer to Pearl Harbor from here than that. And I'm like, whoa.
Well, somebody said we're closer to 2050 than we are to no, I'm sorry. We're closer to 2040 than we are to 2000. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Which is true, but it's also, wow, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And I think we just are living that that portion of our lives where it just seems odd, you know? Because I think if we were in our 20s, we wouldn't think of it that way.
Well, when you hear people, I've hit that age now where I actually hear people say, you may be too young to remember this thing that I've distinctly remember in my vivid past.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and we also live in a world where, because of social media and everything, where we love to discuss how different things were when I was younger. You know what I mean? And like people our age when we were younger did it too, but they always told us in stories and things. You know what I mean? Like when you're hanging out at Christmas with them. That's when you're like, oh, we didn't have, we had a rotary phone when we were kids. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But now I can't get online without hitting about 37 of how old are you, were you when you learned about this? And it's like something, or I saw one this morning that was like, come on, this is just stupid. And it was like one of these check all or you get a point for everything you've done or not done type thing. And, and so this one was one that give yourself a point for everything you haven't done. And there was like 20 things on the list. And every one of them is, if you're someone in your 40s, 50s, 40s on up, you've done. It's stuff like, I rented a video at Blockbuster.
Right.
I used a fax machine. And I'm like, come on. Everybody's done these things at some point. Used a map. Especially
if you live in like small town New Mexico, where I've made the statement, we're a decade to 15 years behind everybody else for the most part. You've used a fax machine. Yeah. You've worked at a company that still to this day has a fax machine and sends faxes. Yeah. Guaranteed.
And yeah, absolutely. Like I think we have one I don't think we have one in this office, but I think we have one in Artesia.
Well, technically our all-in-one in the other room receives faxes.
Oh yeah, technically it does. Yes, you're right. It does. I don't, if you want to send us a fax, gotta be honest, I have no idea what that number is to do that, but in theory, we can receive a fax. But yeah, you see those lists now, and I think that deliberately, because you're like, the only time you heard that stuff is when you went to family or whatever. Now, every day, it's just reminding people, hey, you're old. Hey, you're not old. Hey, you're too young to know anything. Hey, you're too old to do anything. It's just we live in a world where everyone's reminding each other of that.
Right. Here's one that I'm curious about, and it just crossed my mind. Do people still send/receive telegrams? I mean, I know Western Union is still a thing, but it's mostly for wire transfers, money transfers. Do people is there still a sect of society that sends and receives telegrams?
I imagine there's some business or something that uses them in some way, shape, or form, but the general population of society, no, I can't.
Like if you look back at like the 1910s to the 1920s, if you were a telegram delivery person or whatever,
right?
That was like a legit career. There was a point in time, like a moment in history, when they realized we're going to have to find work elsewhere.
Well, the paper boy.
That's a good point. Yeah.
When before our generation, the kid was on the street corner, screaming out the
next street,
the headlines,
the newsboy.
And then when I was a kid, it was your first job as a 12-year-old, and you get on your bike or.
Which, by the way, I've always I was never a paper boy. I did not do that. That to me seems like the hardest job on the planet. You have to wake up at like 3 a.m. and roll newspapers, and then get on your bike at 5, know your route, get everything delivered, and then still go to school?
Yeah.
No.
To be honest,
I'm just gonna say no, thank you.
I did it for a couple of years.
Right.
Poorly, by the way. My problem wasn't delivering the papers. My problem was collecting the money later. Like I didn't know what to do with that, and
you weren't confrontational.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to listen to them yell at me if I didn't,
do it right.
Put the paper in
the paper in the bushes. Which I played the game Paperboy. Oh, I did too. For kids who are too young to know, there used to be a whole video game where the entire point of the video game was to deliver papers.
Yeah, but use some papers as weapons to knock out people trying to prevent you from delivering papers.
Dogs and whatnot.
Yeah, bullies, things
Which
like that.
that was another element that I had to take into consideration. It's like, wait, you have to roll enough newspapers to also use as have a weapons cache?
Yeah, well, I didn't, but yeah, I kind of. In my day, there wasn't really the neighborhood I lived in. I could keep moving and throw and just go, and I didn't have to. I didn't have to stop.
How was your accuracy?
I got better as time progressed. First couple of trips, I was doing the drive up the driveway, boop, boop, and then after I got the hang of it, I could do the driving by and get it semi close to your front porch. That
was a trope in like all the movies in like the 80s and the 90s. Is you'd have like the opening montage of the kid delivering the papers and it would smack the door. I'm like, what sports team are you going to sign up for later in life? Because you have incredible accuracy, kid.
Well, and that's where the bags came to help. Like because if it was a nice day, we just put a rubber band around and throw it.
Right.
But if there's inclement weather, then they slide them in the little paper. They look like a bag, loaf of bread bags. Yeah. And so we slide them in there. But with those, you can, you can wing it a little bit better. It's got a better
slingshot.
Yeah. Where the other one, you kind of. It's a little bit, but it's on the wrist. You figure it out.
Look at that flick of the wrist. Yeah, that was never my realm. Thank God for that. But,
before I give you the rundown, big, huge thank you to Pastor Troy and Pastor Sean at Church on the Move. Earlier, actually last week, we had them on the radio, and we were talking about their Christmas. They got a lot of stuff going on, and of course, we were talking about the Valley Cafe and I had mentioned one of my favorite things at the Valley Cafe is their chicken cordon bleu soup. I love that stuff, but they haven't had it for a little bit. Like they had delicious soups, but not that one.
Right.
And I had mentioned on the radio to those guys how much I love that soup. Well, Chef Anthony hooked a dude up and provided me with 2 big tubs,
like quarts.
Yes.
Of chicken cordon bleu soup. Did you finish it off last night?
One is gone.
Okay.
One remains. One is gone.
Just for the record, you didn't have to take both of those home. Could have left one as like community soup.
Well,
and to the pastors, there's more than one person in this building. I would have liked some soup.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to share.
Have you read the Bible?
I let my wife have some.
Fair enough. Nah.
Actually, that was Kim and I's dinner last night. We each consumed half a tub of soup. So it was delicious.
Heck yeah, dude. And that I've only ever heard about it. I've never had a chance to sample it. But the one time I've heard about it, I was like, this sounds amazing. I went to get it and didn't have it. So I had some tortilla soup that day.
I do have one left. Maybe I'll bring it for you.
For the community. Yeah. That's what I think. Just open up the community soup kitchen.
Yeah, because quite frankly, I'm not going to have it tonight because I had a lot last night. And I'm
because I bathed in it last night.
So I won't do it today, but maybe I'll bring that for you. Maybe that'll, that way. I'll have to let my wife know. I think she'll be okay with letting it go.
Or just even, you know what? Not even the whole quart. Just bring like a sample size so we can try it on the air and let the people know how good that soup actually is.
I can tell you right now.
How good the soup that they can't get access to is.
I can tell you right now, it's delicious. But big thank you to those guys. And Chef Anthony, thank you for making that batch special. Trust me, guys. If you haven't been to the Valley Cafe, I don't care. Even they don't have that soup. Their breakfast burritos are a 10. Their burgers are a 10. Everything I've had there has been excellent. So whatever you get is great.
And by the way, like whoever is writing their menu descriptions is like an expert writer.
The chef. He's the chef.
Because they make their food. I mean, the chili jam that they put on
the jamwich.
Yeah, the jamwich. Just the way they describe it makes my mouth water. It's like, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, the food is delicious.
I want it now.
That and their other soups are great too. Chicken cordon bleu. It's just.
Oh, you found your jam.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But big thank you to Valley. Go. You know what? If you're hungry right now, go swing by for burritos. You'll be glad you did.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, one will do you because they're big.
Like a baby's arm holding a burrito.
They're big. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. John from Oasis Computers is going to join us here in just a few minutes, as he does each and every month, talking tech with us and just kind of, talking good advice when it comes to computer stuff. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Bob Lavrakis will be joining us from First Baptist Church in Roswell. Give us an update what they've got going on, probably talk about Christmas services and what they've got going on for the Christmas festivities. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview with Madi Manchenko with Tai Chi for Health. She joined us yesterday. Mm-hmm. They're starting some new classes up at the Salvation Army here in Roswell. That's where she does her Tai Chi for beginners and more advanced classes too. So we talk a little bit about that. And folks, if you're dealing with pain and, she really has some great stuff that could help people navigate that stuff, especially working with seniors and things that aren't as active and as mobile. She really helps folks with their stuff through Tai Chi. So anyway, we're going to play that interview for you here about 9:15 or so.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local and national variety, Wall Street business update, lots of commercials. As Sean said, we do have, all my breaks are beefy.
Yeah, mine. I'm full up over on country. It's like, how am I supposed to fit in content?
Yeah, so we'll have to play our share of those too.
Yes.
And whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We will have a little bit of cloud cover today with a low-pressure system off to our west. We'll be in the mid-60s for the afternoon high. A few showers may come through for the overnight hours. We'll be in the mid-40s, and then a slight chance of an early shower on Thursday. We'll clear up in the afternoon with mid-60s, and then we get sunny skies on Friday, low 60s, maybe a few showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 82%. Winds are out of the north at 3 miles per hour. Today's actually not bad for December. Partly cloudy. Looks like 63 for a high today. Winds will be out of the southwest at around 5 miles per hour. They are saying we have a 30% chance at some rain showers this evening. Mainly before 11 p.m., mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 44 degrees, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, a high of 65. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly clear Thursday night with an overnight low of 38 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny, highs near 60 degrees, winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, we're looking at a 50% chance at showers, mainly after 11. Mostly cloudy with overnight low of 43. 50% chance of rain on Saturday, mainly early before 11. Partly cloudy, 62 for a high on Saturday. Christmas Eve, Sunday, sunny skies, highs near 60. And for your Christmas Day, mostly sunny, 52 for a high there. All right, 7:23. We're going to take a 4-minute break. I told you our breaks are beefy. And then we'll talk with John from Oasis Computers on the other side. Don't go away.
If you're looking for the best deal on your next vehicle, look no further. The Roswell Hyundai Used Car Supercenter has a huge selection of vehicles to choose from with nearly every make and model. You're sure to find a vehicle that fits your needs and budget. Whether you're in the market for a large truck, a super high-end luxury vehicle, or an affordable car for first-time buyers, the Roswell Hyundai Used Car Supercenter has something for everyone. Come experience the excitement of finding your dream car at Roswell Hyundai, the fun place to buy a car, at 1909 West 2nd in Roswell. Central Valley Electric Cooperative wants to remind you to decorate safely this holiday season. Don't be on Santa's naughty list. Avoid getting a lump of coal this year by making it a point to take care of yourself and those around you. Take time to decorate safely without skipping any safety steps. Visit the website cvecoop.org for tips on how to decorate safely. The employees, management, and Board of Trustees at Central Valley Electric Cooperative would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Christmas in New Mexico means tamales, and the best tamales in the world come from right here. El Charro tamales are handmade the same way they have been made for 75 years, in red with pork or green with cheese. Tamales from El Charro are the perfect gift for the ones you love to bring the flavors of home into your holiday. Order yours today by calling 575-622-8590 or stop by 1711 South Virginia in Roswell, behind the old Kmart. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from El Charro, celebrating 75 years of flavor from the Trujillo family to yours.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Hey, it's your new source for appliances, Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new and minor scratch and dent appliances, and right now, through the end of the year, get wall-to-wall discounts on all in-stock inventory. Save up to 50% on refrigerators, washers, and dryers from the brands you know and trust, like Samsung, Whirlpool, and GE. All come with warranty and personalized service, and we also sell parts. Financing and delivery options available. Come see us now through the end of the year and save up to 50% store-wide. Roswell Appliance Outlet at 600 South Main in Roswell.
It's 12 days of Christmas here at Richland Chevy
and Richland Dodge. Register now through December 22nd to win $100.
No purchase necessary, that's right. One winner a day will be chosen to win the money.
It's easy. Go to our Facebook page or log on to richlandcdjr.com
or rlchevrolet.com and register to win. $100 could be yours. Use it however you want, or buy yourself something sweet.
Or just put it in your pocket and save it for later. Don't miss your chance.
Register today. Have yourself a Merry Christmas from Richland Chevy
and Richland Dodge.
I read a quote once that said, "When you blame others, you give up your power to change." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
We all want to play the victim at times. It even feels good to feel sorry for ourselves. But that puts a lid on our life. It stunts our growth, it damages our marriages, and if you have children, it can even hurt them.
It can seem like a daunting task to take responsibility for our actions. But the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, we can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.
If you've never experienced the love of God, then you don't know your true potential and don't realize how good God is. When you're feeling like a victim, turn to God. He'll give you the strength to move beyond yourself and help you have a victorious marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:28, and joining us in studio this morning from Oasis Computers, John's back with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Doing good.
Good deal. Well, we're days away from Christmas here.
Yep.
And if you are still looking for some technology for people on your Christmas list, well, John can help you out there with some great stuff. Or if you're trying to revitalize some technology for people on your Christmas list, John can help you out there a little bit. So, but that being said, how's things right now? People come and do repair stuff or
repair and the standard thing we keep talking about, the Windows messing itself up.
Yes.
One of the biggest money makers, I guess.
Navigating through Windows
thank
updates.
Microsoft for not doing it right.
That's right. Hey, they keep in business with all them updates.
Yeah. I'm starting to figure out a little bit as to where the future goes. Mm-hmm. It's not been clear, but this year has been very interesting on that point. yesterday was a interesting day. 2 people come in. Both had some kind of a Microsoft account. The idea is that Microsoft account moves right over to a new machine.
It's supposed to make that transition
What worries
easier.
me, it puts me sort of out of business. It makes it automatic and it works.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, it does work sometimes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it doesn't. And it actually causes more work and longer time because now you lose your passwords and they go automatically in.
Sure.
And, then we need
If
to
you didn't know it
figure that
before,
out.
now you don't know it now, you're
big
really
old,
in trouble.
Big old mess.
Yeah.
But yesterday, one was a new machine that they had a Microsoft account, so let's add it to the new machine that I had set up. And they had lost all their data because the drive went bad.
Okay.
And when we were done, it had moved everything back over and everything was there. Wonderful. Okay. Now the other, and the difference is, one was relative up to date and new, and not new, but Windows was up to date, whatever. The account, I guess I should say the Microsoft account was up to date and used recently. It also had the Microsoft 365, the old Office, installed on it. It gives you extra storage, gives you, a terabyte of online storage. And it pretty much does that automatically. It just puts it in OneDrive and puts it on the cloud. Well, those people were very happy. They had everything coming back.
Gotcha.
Now, the other ones had also Microsoft account, but I think it hasn't been used in like 8 years, even though it was on it and they seem to be logging in with it.
Right.
The old, whatever OneDrive was called before, can't think of it right now, was still on it, When I got done, it had moved files over, but what was on the new machine was not on the old machine.
Interesting.
Because I could see the drive on that one. The machine went out. One machine, the hard drive went out. The other one, the machine went out. The hard drive was good. But I couldn't find the files, and I said, is this one picture we have here some kind of a ball joint from a car part?
Mm-hmm.
Does that look any familiar? Does that make any sense to you? No idea. And stuff. It looked like it was somebody else's account almost.
Interesting.
So, total mess. Then the email, the Microsoft account was set up with the old Cable One email name.
Okay.
So that's how long ago that was. This is what 7, 8 years ago when they changed or something like that. When they didn't do email no more. And it just turned into a mess. So we tried to straighten it out. And then, of course, the password was forgotten. You can't get it off the old hard drive. If it would be running, you could, but can't get it off there. So the tried to look for the password, and there's a recovery email, and then, the way to do it, it says PE *** at outlook.com or something like that. Well, the first 2 letters, they didn't ring any bell by the customer. It's like, we don't know what it is.
Right.
So who would put it on? Would a hacker have put it on? No, when you set the account up, you asked that, and whoever set the account up had the fingers on the keyboard.
Right.
Put it in. So that one, we finally said, okay, fine, we don't get anywhere. If you can find your password, bring it today so we can get the email going.
Sure.
If not, you may need to start new email. What wasn't too big of a problem, just aggravating.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, when we sorted through all that and trying to figure out what the heck is going on, the idea was, let's wipe it clean and put just a regular Microsoft a local account on it.
Yeah.
And then you can take it from there. So 2 instances of basically the same thing. One a total disaster, and the other one perfect.
Yeah. Well, and one of them is that one that, but again, it goes kind of back to, if you pay attention and get your passwords and keep
no,
that
that's
stuff.
not it. We're starting to figure.
That still would lessen that
yes, but the problem is getting fairly obvious. This year has been very interesting in that regard. As you go along, they try to make it easier for you. So let's store your passwords. Well, people take that and go with that, but then they start thinking, I don't have no password. Literally, they come in every day and say, no, I don't have no password. Why do you think you have no password for your email? I never type it in. Yeah, right. But the machine puts it in automatically. So that's a good thing, but in the long run, it's a really bad thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other thing is, we get way too many times where it does something. You need to set up an account.
Sure.
And so why do you need to do this? You put a name in it, you put a thing in it, and then when you get done, or you think you're done, it asks you still, now put your email name back in here. Well, didn't I just do that?
Right.
So you start doing that, and then you get sort of a little stuck, whatever, and then either something happens or you close something, and then it says, okay, continue on now. It's stuck behind something else, whatever. What shouldn't happen is not clear. So if you do this every day, you get the hang of it pretty quick and start looking for some different things.
It's kind of like technology does that to us in any way. Like when I was a kid, we didn't have cell phones, let alone smartphones. And so, when you got a hold of your friends to call your friends up, you did it from the house phone. And guess what? You had all your friends' phone numbers memorized.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? You knew all of that. Nowadays, most of us can barely remember our own personal phone number, let alone all of your friends' phone numbers, because technology remembers all of that.
I would argue
for you.
half of the people out there don't know their own phone number.
And so I think technology that it does provide convenience, but in some aspects makes us dumber as human beings.
Well, it's
because we don't practice the things that our brains train us to do.
It looks too easy. Just click here and it works. It updates too much, updates at the wrong spot. See, what I started understanding is if you decide to change a password because you think something's wrong, somebody can get in, whatever, that's one thing. That probably works fine and you probably know your password. That's not what happens. You do something, you're in a hurry with something, Christmas is coming, whatever, you need to still do some shopping, and you go, oh, I need to get this email out, whatever's important, and then it says, oh, we have updates installed, we need to restart.
And you're like, fine.
Literally watching your clock and go, I need to get going, but I need to get this done too. So it hums along, and then it reboots, and it does, and then either it doesn't start up, a black screen, or it doesn't want to go. Well, finally you get it going, but then at the end it says, oh, by the way, there's a problem here. You need to change your password too. And that's where the issue comes in, because you don't want to, you don't know why, really. You're not in the mode for it.
Right.
And those get forgotten. The biggest thing, I think, is what I see is that a password book or piece of paper, whatever, get brought in, and the password, at least half the time, if not more, does not work.
It was 3 passwords ago.
Right. But that's never getting updated.
Yeah.
So it's
a catch.
It used to be, boy, people are stupid. They can't even do it. But, if you have 100 people and 3 have problems, maybe they're stupid. I don't know. Maybe they just don't understand it. Maybe not be
it's the
stupid,
system
whatever.
That's not working
but
right.
when you get, out of 180 that have problems, not all 80 are stupid. There is something wrong that makes it not
it's
work.
an engineering problem, or there's something wrong with the product, not the people.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something wrong with the product. It's not done right.
Yeah.
And, part of the issue is if you make it, you know exactly what needs to be done. It's obvious to you. You do a certain sequence, and then somebody else comes in. You're cooking in your kitchen, whatever.
Sure.
You have a certain way of doing it. Somebody else comes in, well, that's stupid. What the hell are you doing this way? If you put this over there and that over there, it'd be so much easier.
Sure.
Well, but eventually, everybody agrees on how it's done. But with all these companies out there, if you notice, things always have, Betamax and VHS. There was another one too, wasn't it?
The Blu-ray, DVD,
whatever.
world.
Anyway, different ways of storing that music, and we don't have any anymore, by the way. But who won? VHS.
Yeah.
It's the same thing over and over. Different companies do different solutions, and then eventually everybody decides to go with one.
Sure.
Because that one works for some reason or another.
Well, I even think, in this world of passwords and all that, a lot of that same thing's going on because, everything's happening quick. And so, like you said, there's competition. They're trying to get their product out before the other guy gets their product out. And that's how everything works. But, when it comes to this kind of technology, it's like saying, okay, all right, we're going to create a thing that is secure for you to get through. But that's just it. The people that are they're already working the workarounds. So they put a product out thinking it's one way, but then the hackers and everyone else have already figured out ways. So then they got to change up to do that, which forces us to change up.
Right,
and so
right.
I think, when we talk about, changing out of convenience, they offer these different ways. Now, okay, I know we got to do passwords. All right, we're going to make it easy for you. And you just got to look at your screen, and your screen's going to recognize you, and you can do your thing, or you're going to put your thumb on this thing, and it's going to, which has made it convenient. But what has happened is all of those conveniences are still tied back to that password.
If the face is gone, or whatever reason it don't work, then it's you can also do your password. There you are again. Now we don't know the password anymore.
We got these ways to make it easy and convenient, but we didn't figure out the way to say, well, okay, then how do we tie it to only the thumbprint or only the facial recognition?
Right.
Not back to a password, which we're not using now. So now we're not going to remember when that one day when the thumbprint fails or the face print fails.
The one thing comes to mind here about that is the programming stupidity, bugs in the system, errors, whatever you want to call it. This is the third time in 2 weeks, that I have to recover a Google email account. Okay? So the email account is pete@gmail.com, right? Okay. So keep that in mind, pete@gmail.com. And then it doesn't work, password forgotten, so you have some options and whatever, but they don't work and that don't work. And then say, you got a recovery email. Why don't we will send information to, guess who? Pete@gmail.com.
Right.
And you will then follow those instructions and then it will work again. But I can't get into Pete@gmail.com. So now that looks at first glance really stupid, or maybe you would say, what customer would put the same email in it? Well, they do because they don't know what it's asked for.
Right.
Recovery. What does that mean?
What's the point of this?
Yeah. Well, I just made an email, pete@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Let me put that in there. Oh, it takes it. Very good. It should never take that.
Yeah.
Programming should know that if you set up the email account that is named pete@gmail.com, and then you said, put a recovery email. It doesn't even say it needs to be different than this email or something. It just somehow it says that. So people put in, for whatever reason, the same one, confusion, I don't know why, pete@gmail.com, and then it comes to me 4 or 5 years later. Well, you can't get in.
Well, and I think
should never happen.
And then some people say, okay, well, that's for this, but it's brand new. I'm not going to have any issues. I'm not going to worry about that. And they go on with it until 4 or 5 years later when the issue happens.
That's a big issue. Let's say somebody new at a computer, their first one, whatever. They use it, they set it up, they do. And then it goes along. So they didn't know what they really were doing. Or they may have help from the neighbor. The neighbor's not there no more. I think that that missing email that somebody had put in a little while ago when I talked about it. So if somebody else helps, and it said, now here you put another email, here you put this, and then you get this deer in the headlight look. Well, what?
Right.
I see you're not very familiar with this. Let me help you. Shove you aside and say, here, we do this. Now make note of this email. Do we do this? Make note of that thing there. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got it? Oh, I think I got it. And then it works.
Right.
And then it works for the first week and the first month and the first year and the second and the third, fourth year. And then they get pretty good with it. They know how it works.
Yeah.
I click here and my email comes up. Well, I don't even have a password for it. It's great. And then something goes wrong, hard drive goes out, whatever, and then we have the hurt we're in. And then the worst thing is, especially if it's an Apple product, this is not very well understood, I think, either. And everybody has to do this one time when it happens. You lose your password. Okay, put a password in it. Oh, that wasn't it. Well, maybe it was this. Well, maybe it was this. Well, I think I could try this. And then it says, oh, enough tries. Wait 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they do it again. And then it's like, wait 24 hours. And then on Apple products, I swear I've seen wait 100 years. Well, then you can't use it no more. But that's not known up front either.
Right.
Yeah. It's not clear that if you type that password in too many times, and then, of course, you get the question, why do they do this? It's just me trying to get in. Well, the machinery doesn't know it.
It doesn't know you
and
from
so
Adam.
many get stolen and hacked and whatever. So if you can't...
It's there to protect you, actually.
Well, it's there to discourage thieves from stealing the device. Because if you can reset the password, if there's a way around it somehow.
Sure.
I steal your iPhone right there. When I leave, you don't have it no more. And I go to the store and say, I got an iPhone for sale here. It's all reset. But I can't do that because I can't get in. And at too many tries, I'm completely locked out.
Well, and that's just it. The easier they make it to change a password for you, the easier it is for the bad guys to also change your password.
Security is not easy. I always use the example of some of these New York gangster movie things that you see. They open in the apartment building, they open their apartment door up.
Right.
And it's like 1 lock, 2 lock, 3 lock, 4 lock, 5 lock, hang lock, whatever, That's not easy, but it makes it harder to get in.
Absolutely. And that's
the same problem.
It's no different in the real world. Like, this is why when you own homes and things, they always tell you not to have shrubbery and stuff right up against windows where you can where criminals can hide, well-lit areas, lock your doors. It's no different here in the real world. It's all deterrence. It's the same thing there. If they figure if they put enough hurdles in place, they're going to make it where the juice is not worth the squeeze, and they're going to move on to the next.
And then the technology never delivers when you need it.
Yeah.
We had a sad moment on, what was it, Monday? Monday, yeah. The house getting worked on the outside, new stucco, whatever on it, they're working on it. And, of course, gates sometimes get left open, whatever. Not sure exactly what happened, but one of our dogs got out.
Oh, no.
And then, of course, it got run over and got killed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And the person that run over it didn't even stop, whatever. I don't think he paid attention. That's what I hear. I wasn't there. So we tried to figure out what had happened, who was, leaving the gate open or whatever. The workers, of course, get first blamed, and they leave it open a lot. But we're not sure because the camera doesn't capture what it is. The cleaning person was there, and the dog's supposed to have gotten out after the cleaning lady left. And then it's, of course, did she leave the gate open? But we have 2 gates because of the solar system. The dogs are not supposed to be where the solar system is, so we had 2 fences put up.
Right.
So they get separated from that. So they need to get out. They need to get to 2 supposedly closed gates, and one got out. So we don't know why. But when the cleaning lady left, that was after the workers left, the gate looks closed. But we can't see if it's really latched or not. So it could be pushed open or not. Can't tell that. You can see on the picture, because it's not pointed there, for the second gate. So we don't know if it was left open. It looks like workers left the first gate open, and the cleaning lady may not have quite closed the second one.
Cocktail of both.
Yes, and then an idiot that drives down the street that don't pay attention, doesn't care. Combination of stuff. But the point I'm making is that the cameras captured a lot. But nothing. It's even pointed where the dog got run over, supposedly.
Right.
We don't have no video of that.
It gave you more questions than answers.
Yeah, it just, it sort of points somewhat, but we have no solution. I've run into this with the cameras before. It collects everything you don't need.
Yeah.
And what you do need, it doesn't quite do it.
Well.
Unless, have a sophisticated system that does it different. These are just Ring doorbells. And
sure.
It works, but it don't.
Sure, it's another deterrent, but and the technologies, as it gets better, and it's just the world we live in. But at the end of the day, you just do your best to try to stay on top of this stuff, and when you do get into a pickle, John can work his magic to help you
with a lot of things
to get through it and try to kind of navigate for the best scenario for you at the end of the process here.
Warning for the passwords; those are getting harder and harder to bypass. Do know your password. If you type in, if you go to a place, whatever place it is, you need a username and a password. From here on forward, pay attention to each place that's important to you.
Yeah.
What is my username here? And where do I find the password? It'd be a lot easier to come in the store and say, I don't know what my password is. How can I redo it, reset it, whatever? Then after it crashes, then you have no, the device it's on.
When something's broke, it's harder to recover it. But if the hard drives and everything are working and you don't know the password, John has a lot more evidence to travel down to find it for you versus something that is damaged.
It's very similar to when a computer quits, but the hard drive is good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have all the data files. We move those over. They don't seem to care as much anymore for the files on the drive because it's stored somewhere else. A lot of those pictures they want is on the phone, And if the machine quits, so that's what I was saying. If the machine quits, you have the drive with the files on it.
Mm-hmm.
But what we run into is the hard drive quits. So I have no idea how it's set up. Now, you need to explain to me how your computer was set up. What do you do? Well, my usual stuff. Well, what is your
What
usual,
does that mean? Yeah.
So you have to sometimes literally pull it out of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you go to a bank website? Oh, yeah, I go to, whatever bank, Bank of America.
Right.
Okay. Well, how often? Well, like every week or so. Well, then we need to set that up. Oh, okay, but it goes in there by itself. So you, on the new computer, because you don't know what they had, you let them try and say, okay, Bank of America. And then literally they look at you, what do I do?
Right.
Because the old one had it somewhere where they clicked and then they went to Bank of America.
It just remembered everything
and,
you've done.
from my point of view is, well, it's simple, BOA.com.
Yeah.
But people don't know that, and it works again.
Well, my bank,
and then trying to restore it for them is a nightmare because you got to try to figure out where they go, what they do, email and stuff like that, and then set it up. If the computer, if you still can run the computer, so you buy a new computer, the old one is fine, but it's old, I want a new one. Then you have the same issue, but you can start the old one up and say, oh, this is what let's do that here, and let's improve on it or change it or whatever.
Yeah. Like for bank, for me, that works that way because of I have it on my phone and my iPad,
right?
And those actually use a different method to access it.
The phone is working better, it seems like.
Yeah, they use the visual. So to access my bank stuff, they use my face recognition. Obviously, when I get on a PC,
right,
that don't
work.
And
the phone moves stuff over better too. You get a new phone.
Sure.
You say, well, import everything. Well, I guess.
I've had much better success with phones and tablets than I have.
On the
with
good
computers.
note is, no matter what we think of Microsoft, that's what they're trying to accomplish on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You get a problem, you get another computer, you sign in. The only thing to know is my Microsoft account and the password for it.
Right.
And then it, brings everything
plug
back
it
pretty
in,
much.
Bloop, 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 and then you start
That's
using it.
what we're working towards, what Microsoft does.
We're just a few
and,
growing pains in there.
The one from Monday, the one computer, it worked beautiful. Everything was back. Your passwords and stuff come back too at that point.
Okay.
So like the phone does.
So maybe we'll get better at this.
I think
here
it's
in a year or
getting
two.
better, but it's in the what happened on Monday. The new, how do I put it? The new set, the correct done one versus the old one that was tried and didn't finish off, kind of half baked. Maybe is that the word to use?
That's a good yeah.
And because it's older, if it would have been a newer machine, it may have probably done right.
Sure.
But in the process of moving this, while we're working it and whatever, it did not do that right, and the customer has no answer for you.
Sure.
But the other one, on the other hand, that was working good, you could see how beautiful it is when it does work, because they had lost everything. I cannot find that data.
Well, and I think people sometimes forget, this is technology that's evolving and changing, and when you create new concepts and new things, the first ones are going to have bugs and quirks, and it's no different than, say, a Tesla. The very first Teslas aren't nearly as good as the Teslas now, and guess what? The Teslas that come out 20 years from now are going to be night and day better than the Teslas you get today. That's just how, but there's growing pains to get from there to there.
And as you go along, you're talking about cars.
Yeah.
Every new thing comes out is no good.
Right.
We have used to do cars somewhat long time ago. You got your points, your distributor, and your carburetor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when the electronic ignition whatever came out, how many people were complaining about it? My computer went out. You know how much that is?
Yeah.
That type of deal.
And now you can't live without
it. But now, think back of when you had to pull your choke out and pump the gas 3 times. Otherwise, not more than that, you flood it, whatever. Does anybody complain? Most people get in the car and it starts up or it don't.
Yeah.
And if it don't, then it's like, oh, well.
Well, and then back in the day, we're like, okay, I got a trick. You talk nice to it and all that.
Right.
The technology's changed now where none of that works. You know,
Kick
the Fonzie beat on it.
Kick the left front wheel twice and slam the door extra hard, and then it will work. That doesn't work no more. So technology did get better, but in the process, it goes back and forth.
Sure.
It happens everywhere.
But we have to learn as the technology changes, too. And that's what we're dealing with a lot of these computers and passwords and access.
Right.
All that. So, when it does frustrate you, please let John and at Oasis help you out here. What's your phone number they can call?
575-625-9141. Best way to contact me anyway.
Right. And, of course, he has customer hours Monday through Friday, 8 to about noon or so.
Yeah, 8 to 12, and I try to leave no later than 12:30. And what I've learned this last month now has been pretty quiet. We may be open in the afternoon if nothing else is happening. The reason we're closed is to get the service calls done, the work done, errands to run.
But if the workload's light, you open the doors.
Yeah, it's been, I got caught up completely. So, like yesterday, I had 3 people come in, so come on over.
Yeah.
And then I leave the door open, unlocked, I mean.
Yeah.
And so there's a chance that I'm here, but I would advise to call first.
Sure.
And
one more time, give out that phone number.
575-625-9141.
Let him help you, whether you need new technology or relive or revitalize old technology.
Right.
John can help you navigate through all of that.
Yes.
Stuff. Good deal. Well, as always, appreciate the visit, and we always enjoy these conversations.
Thank you.
You and your family have a Merry Christmas, Happy
Merry
Holiday.
Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone out there, too.
And then we look forward to talking to you in 2024. January
Right.
2024.
Yes, I won't be back this year.
That's right. You're done for the year. Get out of here. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, 7:56. Quick break before news. Don't go away.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
At Artesia General Hospital, our emergency department experts care for more than 10,000 people each year. Our emergency department is open 24 hours a day and there's always a doctor on duty. We specialize in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma services, making sure you have access to quality care when every second counts. From unexpected illness to serious injuries, you can trust our team to provide exceptional emergency care in any situation. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites, Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes, in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7, and the Candlewood Cupboard 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood Gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo and grills. And the Candlewood Lending Locker for stuff you couldn't pack, like crock pots, board games, and more. Call 575-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
There's a Honda for every holiday adventure. Whether it's dropping off presents in a sporty Civic or picking up a few for yourself in a fun-to-drive HR-V. Find your new Honda during Happy Honda Days. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2024 Honda Civic and 2024 HR-V.
Happy Honda Days are here, and just in time for the best deal of the year. Visit Roswell Honda today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, Providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support, DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Although he has not been convicted of or even charged with insurrection, the Colorado Supreme Court has ruled that former President Trump's name cannot appear on the state's presidential election ballot.
Citing the insurrection clause of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, the Colorado Supreme Court said Trump was ineligible to hold the office of president, and it barred him from the state's presidential primary. The Trump campaign claimed political bias and fear, calling it a flawed decision, and it promised a swift appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston, all 7 of the justices of the Colorado Supreme Court are Democrat appointees. The prospects for a quick approval of another Ukraine aid bill are fading as the White House and congressional Democrats resist Republican demands that immigration reform and tighter border security be included in the aid package. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says negotiations are ongoing.
I think it's pretty safe to say that we've made some significant progress, but we obviously aren't there. But that needs to be a part of this overall request from the administration, which remains extremely important.
Meanwhile, illegal aliens continue surging across the southern border in record numbers. 12,600 people encountered by Customs and Border Protection in a single day this week, and that's believed to be the highest number in a 24-hour period since record-keeping began more than 60 years ago. The AP reports the Biden administration has released a close ally, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, in a swap for jailed Americans. There's been no comment from the White House. The Maduro ally, who was let go, was arrested on a U.S. warrant for money laundering in 2020. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 58 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A strong earthquake has left many homeless in the frigid mountains of northwest China.
Earthquake survivors in Dahidia mill around after spending a freezing night in tent shelters, retrieving some belongings with his wife from the ruins of their home built 6 years ago in Yanghua village. Han Zongmin says, "Look at this, my house turned into this overnight." Houses caved in and crumbled in the Monday night earthquake that killed over 130 people and injured more than 900 others. Most of the casualties were in Gansu province and the rest in the province of Qinghai. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The United States is flying a long-range bomber in joint drills with South Korea and Japan, a show of force against North Korea. Today's B-1B bomber flyover comes days after North Korea performed its first intercontinental ballistic missile test in 5 months. Townhall.com. Well, this has been a long time coming.
Southwest Airlines and its pilots reached a tentative labor agreement after 3.5 years of negotiations, the last of the 4 major airlines to reach a deal with pilots. The Dallas-based carrier said Tuesday it was pleased to reach the agreement in principle, which it called a key milestone. Specific terms of the agreement weren't disclosed, but pilots at American, United, and Delta have won raises of roughly 40% over 5 years. Keith Peters reporting.
Some Tesla employees in Sweden have gone on strike. The job action sparking sympathy strikes by union workers all across the country and in some other Nordic nations. Roughly 130 Tesla mechanics in Sweden walked off the job after the EV maker refused to sign a collective bargaining agreement. No Tesla employees anywhere belong to a union, and Sweden, one of Europe's most heavily unionized countries. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabulation, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The dudes, Jack.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters. Right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. That is creepy.
It really is.
It is creepy.
I put it on other people and looked, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, but yeah, it's creepy. I thought you were going to rob me, to be honest.
Right? I'm just going to jump off a plane, ride down a mountain on a snowboard.
That's right.
Commit armed robbery.
That's right. That's surf. Oh,
Kinda?
gosh, it's creepy. It's the smile.
Really is?
Smile is what's the creepiest.
It really is.
That is a remnant of yesterday's Christmas party.
Yes.
He looks like he's smiling all the time. He's always happy. I'm like, God. Sean happy? He's smiling happy. But, and to be honest, the mask was the wrapping.
It was. So, okay, so we all get to, and by the way, big thanks to Dion's for hosting our
Putting
nonsense.
up with us.
Yeah.
Pizza was delicious. The
really
brownies,
was.
salad, it was, I ate way too much food yesterday.
Oh, so much. But one by one, we all get there and we set our presents down for the Secret Santa, or the mean Santa, as Mike calls it. And before any of us got there, sitting on the table was a hefty trash bag, taped up. Not even like a full trash, like it was taped up.
Yeah, it looked like something pulled out of a trunk by police.
Uh-huh. But sat atop that bag was the Joe Biden mask.
Yes.
And one by one, we all had our chuckles. We're like, okay, well, that's a Thomas gift. But I kind of knew. It was meant for me.
Was it?
It was meant, because nobody else was going to grab it because they knew it was probably going to be nonsense.
You went way before me. So.
I, of course, was going to go for the nonsense.
Yeah.
So, I grabbed the bag with the mask, mostly because, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of this thing already.
He's been wearing it a lot.
And inside the bag was the following contents. A gigantic 3.5-pound bag of La Poblanita party tostada chips.
Yes, he did get. You've got enough tortilla chips for the town.
For every party I'm going to for the great hereafter.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can find use for them before they get stale. But also 2 jars of salsa, a nice serving bowl for the chips, and a gigantic, and I mean gigantic, this thing could fit over my bed, tortilla blanket.
Yes. Yes. And here's the part that gets me. I've never heard of said tortilla blanket.
Really?
But yesterday, 2 of them showed up.
There were 2. then you, my friend, don't spend enough time on Temu
I
or
do not.
on any of these sites.
I do not. I am not one that shops these things because I don't.
So I recently bought a pizza blanket. It's a circular blanket, and it looks just like a pizza on one side.
Okay.
Now I bought it off Temu, so of course it's cheaper than the normal one, so it's only on one side. Still, my son loves that blanket.
You just put pizza side out. It's good to go.
It's a great little throw blanket. My son loves that blanket.
But if you want to be conservative, you can go pizza side down, and people just think you're just
just a white blanket with a red rim.
Yeah.
But this tortilla blanket's double sided. And it is huge.
And if I remember right, it's like legit because it's a flour tortilla.
Yes.
And so you know how like one side of a tortilla is one way and the other looks a little different?
Mm-hmm.
It's got that, if I remember right.
Dimples. Yeah. The dimples are different on both sides.
Yeah. So it is a cool blanket. I will not,
it is. And like I said, I needed a couch blanket.
Yeah.
Because like I have my bed blanket, but you don't want to lug the bed blanket out if you're feeling a little chilly on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Now I got a couch blanket.
And then I did a swap. My gift I got was actually the first thing I got was some candles.
Right.
That got stolen.
Yeah.
So I opened another gift and I got a John Wick 2 DVD with the bonus coins and all the
and that's the coolest part about it because it's got the coins. Like if you've ever seen the movie, everything that's done inside the Continental is done with these coins.
Right, that's your password, your pass to get around.
Mm-hmm. And so these replica coins, that's really the selling point.
Yeah.
But Katie was sat
well,
across
and that's
from
just
you.
what we had our newest employee, Katie. She who is young. She's right out of high school.
Right.
She got she opened a gift. Well, first she got a gift that was stolen that had booze in it.
Yes.
Which she probably shouldn't have had to begin with.
Right. so thank
good
you
thing
for
I
stealing.
got stolen it. But she then got some hot sauce and some seasoning salts. And she's an 18-year-old kid.
She
ain't doing a lot of grilling.
Ain't making
That's
fajitas.
Not in her bag, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So she was kind of, I think, bummed.
Right.
And then she looked at me and goes, "Oh, I would love John Wick 2. I've seen John Wick 2.
Mm-hmm. Great movie. Fantastic. Yeah. I would argue the best in the series.
And I'm not going to lie. I own a DVD player, but I cannot remember the last time I put a said DVD in the player.
Right.
So I said, you know what, Katie? And she was like, I'll trade you. I was like, I love hot sauces and seasoning salts and all that. That's right in my wheelhouse.
Right.
The years that I get spice rubs and stuff, usually the years I'm like, all right, I'm cool. The liquor's fine, but it's not my bag.
That's the thing is, even if you get like a nice bottle, it's gonna be gone, and unless you're like somebody who like sits at the top shelf.
But hot sauces are, you keep them around, you use them, and the seasoned salts, like I've got like salts that are seasoned with bacon.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, dude, there's like a Himalayan bacon one. There's even a sugar, maple bacon flavored sugar.
That sounds delightful.
Granulated sugar.
I'm a sucker for anything with truffle in it, like the truffle salt, the truffle oil, stuff like that.
So this was for me. I'm like, this is way better than John Wick 2 for me.
When you get older, and I think this is what it is. When our taste buds are starting to kind of dull a bit, so we're just looking for anything that'll like shock the system at this point. And yeah, that does it for us. So hot sauces, seasonings.
Yeah. So I was very happy with my gift, and Katie was happy that she got John Wick 2. So all was right in the world.
I was also happy to have the most stolen gift at the party.
I had number 2.
Yeah?
Yeah, the crown was mine.
The crown. I figured the crown was yours. But no, mine was the wine tasting
the
starter set.
Yes. If you want to learn how to be bougie with wine.
Which, if I'm pulling back the curtain, I was very, very happy with that purchase because I went to Sam's Club and it was marked $16.99. So I'm like, oh, that's right in the $20 limit. It was $9.83.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So if you're looking for to start a wine tasting habit on a budget, head to Sam's Club.
Well, I walked in and I saw the crown thing with the glasses and it was,
which I saw it too. You exceeded the.
It was $24.99.
Exactly, you exceeded.
Well, $25 was the limit. So
was it 25? Oh, I thought it was 20.
25 was the limit. So I'm under it by 1 penny.
There you go.
Actually, well, I bought the bag and the gift, so I think I blew over with the purchase of the gift bag and tissue paper and all that. But oh well.
But The mileage I'm going to get off this bad boy, that's priceless.
That's yeah.
Because I'm about to go on a vacation to Oklahoma. I'm going to freak out a whole nother sect of society with this bad boy. I'm going into Trump Nation with this thing.
I think you should do some of your TikTok samplings with it on.
Just do a couple of dances or something. Yeah. It's kind of hard to sample when the mouth doesn't open, though.
I think that would be part of the TikTok fun.
We're tasting a McRib today, Jack. Just shove it into the non-opening mouth.
What kind of hole? And then there's just sauce all over. I ain't gonna lie, that's entertainment.
Maybe you should use some of these ideas for a you thing.
That's not my bag.
Going to waste, man. You could be TikTok famous.
I know, it's not my bag.
Don't you want your 15 minutes?
Here's what I got. I'll just settle with a radio show. All right. Bob Lavrakis is going to be joining us here in just a few minutes from First Baptist Church in Roswell. Give us an update. Talk what's going on for the Christmas holiday at First Baptist Church. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with. Oh, lots of commercials, because we're beefy on commercials today. Before we do any of that, let's get you up to date on the weather. Not too bad. Some rain chances in there this week, too.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We will have a little bit of cloud cover today with a low-pressure system off to our west. We'll be in the mid-60s for the afternoon high. A few showers may come through for the overnight hours. We'll be in the mid-40s, and then a slight chance of an early shower on Thursday. We'll clear up in the afternoon with mid-60s, and then we get sunny skies on Friday, low 60s, maybe a few showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 39 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 79% with winds out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy today, 63 for a high. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, they're saying there's a chance, 30% chance of showers, mainly before midnight. Cloudy with an overnight low of 44 degrees. West winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny, 65 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 38 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny, highs near 60 expected. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, rain chances, a 50% chance at rain, mainly after midnight, so overnight. Mostly cloudy with overnight low of 43 degrees. Saturday, we're looking at a 50% chance at showers early, mainly before noon, so the AM hours. Partly cloudy otherwise, and a high of 62. For your Christmas Eve on Sunday, we're looking at sunny skies and highs near 60. For your Christmas Day, Monday, mostly sunny, and a high of 52. So pretty nice, all things considered, and some rain chances, which we'll take. All right, it is 8:17. We're going to take a not quick commercial break. It's actually quite a beefy commercial break. And then we'll have Bob Lavrakis join us here on the other side from First Baptist Church of Roswell. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Listen, fellas, I'm about to give you the skinny. Are you tired of not having anything fun to do to celebrate the new year with your gal? Well, here's the scoop. Friday, December 29th, the Liberty is hosting an evening of dinner and a show called Radio Razzle Dazzle. The show is set on New Year's Eve 1940 in a radio studio where you get to watch a live radio play being performed. However, the scripts are missing and the cast and crew have passed out or eloped and the sound effects machine is broken. So you'll get to watch and see if the remaining cast can pull off the radio event of the year. I hear it's a real gasser. This will make a perfect holiday date night for you and your gal. So ring in the new year in style by joining us at the Liberty Friday, December 29th for Radio Razzle Dazzle. Check out thelibertyinc.com for tickets. Brought to you by MW Entertainment and 106.5 Roswell Talk FM.
Merry Christmas from everyone at National Furniture Liquidators in Roswell. Now through Christmas, drop off toys at NFL's 203 East McGaffey location in Roswell and receive Santa-sized discounts. Drop off one toy, get 10% off. Drop off two toys, get 20% off. Drop off three toys, get 30% off. You get the idea. Drop off up to 5 toys and get 50% off. All the toys will be given away this Christmas. Merry Christmas from everyone at National Furniture Liquidators, 203 East McGaffey in Roswell.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here. You know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for roustabout crew and a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screening. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 2801 North Freeman in Artesia. Edge Safety and Services is an equal opportunity employer. 'Tis the season of savings at Big O Tires. Unwrap peace of mind this holiday season with trusted tires and auto service from your locally owned and operated Roswell Big O Tires. Now through January 7th, save up to $140 on select sets after mail-in rebate. All with multiple financing options available for any budget and any situation. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Let's face it, guys. We're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion. Unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from First Baptist Church here in Roswell, Bob LaRocca back with us. Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Mike. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas to you.
Hope you have exciting plans for the holiday weekend.
No. Exciting is good in some ways, but as far as where I am right now, I like things kind of mellow.
You like it, so hopefully things are fun for you and festive,
well,
even if they're not exciting.
Yeah. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, sir.
Do I need to take off my Halloween mask?
No, I think you're good. You're good.
Okay. I'll be glad to.
Your smile is au naturel. You know, okay. Sean, we need to put one on him sometimes here. But
okay. Oh.
But of course, Bob joins us here. We just had John just about a month ago, I think.
A month ago, yes, sir.
Just kind of talking and give us an update what's going on at First Baptist Church here in Roswell. And this time of year, as I've said a couple times, when it comes to Christianity, this is the second biggest time of the year for Christianity here. Easter's the number one. Easter's the reason we are Christians. But the birth of Christ starts the ball rolling here. So I always give Christmas the 2 seed when it comes to important holidays when as far as Christianity goes. But
if there, great point. If there was no Easter, if there was no resurrection, Paul said that we as Christians would be walking around without hope, most miserable, and that we would be living a lie. Without the resurrection, Christianity is just another religion.
Yeah, that it makes it well, it's the proof. It's the pudding. It's proof's in the pudding, and Easter's the proof. That's what it is.
Yeah. Mike, can I talk about Gyra for a moment?
Yes, sir.
We've been appealing to not only our congregation but to the city of Roswell, and both parties have responded in a wonderful way.
Good deal.
We have a good problem where we have lots and lots of jackets and clothes. And that's a good problem. I wanted to thank our First Baptist Church, especially the teenagers. During Coat Drive week, they went out and put large blue plastic bags on door handles in certain neighborhoods. And they handed those out. There were 80 or 90 bags.
Awesome.
And the week later, the teenagers went out and collected those bags. And,
nice.
And we've...
people made donations. Huh?
Yeah.
You know what I love about this? You said the teenagers did this. This is where I love the lesson of teaching our younger humans the server's heart. That is so important to me. So it's so glad you say these were, I'm sure, obviously adults were supervising, making sure, but it's glad to see the kids are the boots on the ground, seeing how they're impacting other people's lives. It's great.
Right, as you said, learning to become a servant.
Yeah.
These teenagers are phenomenal kids. Do some of them have some serious issues going on in their life? Yes.
As we all do.
Do they have the hope of Christ in their life? Yes. It is such a blessing to be in a service on a Sunday morning, and while Pastor Nathan Smith asks if there's anybody that wants to come up to pray, that the teenagers don't need to be told to. You see 25 or 30 teenagers on their own go up and kneel and pray.
Awesome.
I really wish, Mike, someone, and I'm a little emotional about this, I wish someone had talked to me about this Jesus Christ when I was a teenager.
Sure. But you know what? You found it regardless. And that's the beauty of it. It doesn't matter if you found it when you first came on this earth or moments before you leave it. It doesn't matter.
Right.
As long as you find it.
Yeah.
That's the
Look at the
important
thief on the cross.
Yeah.
I mean, he was minutes, maybe hours, maybe minutes away from death. And he referred to Jesus. He said, "Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom."
Yeah.
And Jesus said, "Thou shalt be with me, and today thou shalt be with me in paradise." So you're right on. As far as Gyra, I'd like to thank Harvest Ministries. They gave us a large donation a week ago.
Excellent. They're very big in supporting people in our community. Harvest Ministries is kind of the first line of defense for a lot of that. So,
Mesa Middle School. I received a phone call from a teacher yesterday that we have lots of warm clothing we'd like to give you. So shout out to Mesa Middle School.
I love our schools. Our schools are always and this is universal. If there's organizations that have food drives and things or need blood donations, guess who's their biggest supporters?
Yeah.
Our schools, our elementary, our middle, and high schools are our biggest supporters of those.
Right. I'm in the process of speaking with Pastor Barry Anderson from Grace Community Church. He's going to see what he and Grace Community can do to help us.
Awesome.
Because this is not a it's not a deal where we've made it. We're at the end. It is a constant giving and receiving.
Well,
giving and receiving.
Churches,
so that we can give.
Sure. And churches, obviously, yes, when it, in the day to day, they're, wanting congregations and things. But when you think about it, the Baptists, the Methodists, the Catholics, they have the same end game here. It's all servants of God. And at the end of the day, God doesn't care. Wait a minute, you Baptist, you Methodist, are you a
Correct.
servant of God? And
Right
that's what you're seeing here, is seeing, with multiple churches getting together and say, look, we have a common issue. Let's work together to solve it. And that's so it's great. It's great to see Grace is working with you guys.
Yes.
Love to see more churches get involved with that. That would be the more the merrier on this.
Yeah. So again, we're constantly in our bulletin on Sunday morning at First Baptist. We're constantly asking. And
People
this
are
week,
delivering.
I asked Pastor Jacob Bassing to please put in the bulletin, thank you.
Awesome.
Not ask for anything, just like with God.
Sure.
There must be a time in our relationship with God where we stop asking and we thank him.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Me personally, I've always, and this is, because when we talk about prayer, and the power of prayer and what, that is our direct communication to God. That is, our pathway to that link. And as I get older in life, I kind of, because, when you're younger, what are the things you pray for? Oh gosh, please hope I pass this test. Oh, please get me out of this situation, and then we get through it. And then we go about our day. But no, as I get older, I'm kind of like, no, I'm going to pray today and just say, thank you, God, for my family, my life, my world, what I have. Everything's a blessing. It's all because of you. Yeah. And then that's it. And I, as I get older, I do remind myself, hey, don't just pray when you need stuff. Pray when for no reason whatsoever, just to be thankful for the things you have. And as I've gotten older, myself has worked on trying to do that more. I'm not gonna lie. There's days I botch it, but there's days I'm getting to nail it on it too. But that's such an important message you're saying, is saying thank you sometimes. And sometimes we take the blessings we have for granted sometimes. And seasons like this are that reminder that we are truly blessed. Be thankful and be helpful for those that aren't as blessed. And that's Christianity in a nutshell. I mean, that's, when to be a Christian is to live like God, and to live like God means to help and to serve and to be a person that is always an asset to others, and to be that thing. And we can fail at it. We can sin and mess that up, but that's the beauty. God's already paid that bill for us through Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And so, you can mess it up and you can get back on the path. But, so please, if he done some things or something went wrong, that doesn't mean God's turned his back on you. It's okay to get back on the horse and help us out here, or come back. Maybe you had bad experiences at a church or something. Come back, come talk to someone, come get involved. And, serving others and helping others is a good cure for a lot of your own problems sometimes.
Right.
Just to point out there.
Yeah. You're so right. There are days that I kind of go into a funk.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is the Lord will put someone in my path or a situation where I forget about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is to give God the glory, not me.
Yeah.
But where he put someone in my path where, say, a drunk or a drug abuser, or prostitute, and where share the gospel, I forget about myself, and tell them that there is a God in heaven that loves you and cares for you. And when that person breaks and hugs you and thanks you for sharing the gospel, for sharing the hope of Jesus, my problems go out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tend
happens.
to realize, you know what? I've got it pretty good. Look what other people are experiencing. Look what I'm able to do to help them. Life's good for me. You know, and it does. It's that reminder. It is a constant reminder of the blessings you have. That's why children are so loved, because, yes, we're getting them ready for whatever their journey takes them. But at the same time, they're a reminder of our blessings and a reminder of why we're here sometimes and what we're doing. So
that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
You're talking about children.
Yeah.
What did Jesus say that a person needed to be like?
Well, I'm going to let you just answer that, because I might give you a wrong answer. So
He said you to be like a little child.
Okay.
Childlike faith.
Yeah. That's
Childlike
true.
trust.
It's true.
A child.
It makes sense.
Not a big 6'4", 280-pound football player, but like a little child.
Sure. Well, and it's about faith. When you break down that word faith, and it's like, you don't understand that that's the powerful word, to believe in something without any true evidence to back it up, other than you just know that's what it is. And I will argue there's all kinds of evidence of God's presence there, but you're right. It's not on a store shelf somewhere you can say, "Oh, let me pick up some God today." You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but through our blessings, through our life, that's the evidence of God. But that's, to me, that's what makes faith so important. Is even if you can't see it and touch it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And that's why Christianity and that faith in God is just, that's why it's so powerful. It's just, the proof is there, the things are there, but you as you live your life, it try to skews you in different directions and things. And that's where that faith comes in. It's like, yeah, life's going to hand you a big batch of lemons sometimes. It's just what it is. And how you navigate it and how you go through it is where God's shows himself.
Yeah. I heard someone say once, "Why is the Dead Sea in Israel, why is it dead?" Great question. They said, well, there's a body of water that leads into it, but there isn't one that leads out of it. Stagnant.
Yeah.
Full of salt. Nothing can live in it. So what you're saying is right on the money. May I speak for a minute about our celebration, Christmas celebration?
Yeah.
We are going to, at 10 o'clock in the Fellowship Hall.
Okay. On Christmas Eve, Christmas Day? Or?
December 24th.
Okay.
Christmas Eve morning.
Yes. Okay.
We're going to celebrate, beginning with cider and coffee and treats.
You always got to have that. You got to have that's, I'm sorry, humans, we are guided by our stomachs and our noses.
Yeah.
That's God's plan too.
We'll do this in the Fellowship Hall, and then please join us at 11 for our service in the main sanctuary. As we celebrate the birth of Christ, we'll have a bell choir.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, they're very talented. Anytime you see those.
Holcomb is the director.
Okay.
You might know Rob.
Yeah, I think I've met him before. Yeah.
Talented, God blessed people that play the bells. We're going to have song and praise, give Jesus the glory, and Pastor Chris Lethgo is going to be sharing with us what the Lord has laid on his heart.
Awesome.
Pastor Lethgo, if I can say this, through the years, I've known the Lord for 41 years, and I've sat under not a whole lot of pastors, but
a few over the time of 41 years.
Yeah. There are pastors that are really blessed preachers or really blessed teachers. Very rarely do you have that combination of preacher, teacher. Pastor Lethgo, our interim pastor, is that man. Not only is he a wonderful teacher, preacher, He is a wonderful human being.
Well, looks like God put him in the right spot then, huh?
He put him in the right spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to finish up talking about Christmas and Jesus, you know, what's really neat, Mike, and I don't want to get all high and heady, but for us Christians, we celebrate the birth, death, and resurrection of Jesus every day.
You're right. You do.
Every
as
day.
Christians, we do.
Every day.
It's the reason we are here. And you do it, but we do it in the little ways of life. That's, you know, living through God and living like God. That's, you know, but that's every time you do the acts of kindness, every time you're doing, you know, that's God's work on display here.
Right.
So yes, I see your point there, you know.
And the thing is, unless we know Christ personally and we receive the Holy Spirit, I can't do anything apart. Jesus said, apart from me, you can do nothing. And he sent his Holy Spirit to guide us, teach us, convict us. Jesus said that the Holy Spirit will convict the world of sin, righteousness, and judgment. Sin, because we're all sinners. Righteousness, because none are righteous, no, not one. And judgment, that there is going to be a judgment day. Mike, when you think about Jesus, who was with the Father, the Bible says, from the beginning. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That sentence in Greek, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. The Word was with God. It's a Greek phrase, proston theon.
Okay.
It means face to face with God. Jesus was face to face with the Father, just like you and I are face to face with each other. But when you think about it, Jesus, the Bible tells us that Jesus was not a created being. He is Creator God. And that he created Adam and Eve, two perfect people, the garden, perfect place, and yet he was so loving, he is so loving, that he let those two people make not a bad mistake, but they made a bad decision. And Jesus, we hear the word love thrown around. It's a catchphrase nowadays. And the thing is that love is not a noun, it's a verb. And while the earth was becoming a mess, Jesus could have stayed in heaven, seated at the right hand of the Father. He could have looked down and he could have said, nope, I'm not coming down there. You guys messed it up.
You figure it out.
Fix it. But Jesus left the splendors of heaven. And we're only given a glimpse of what heaven is like. The Apostle Paul went to the third heaven. He was brought there by the Lord. And he said, when he came back to earth, he said, I saw things and I heard things that are too wonderful for me to utter. Because people asked him, what did you see? And he just, what did you experience? He just went, things too wonderful for me to say.
Sure, it's hard to put into description, I'm guessing, yeah.
Here's Jesus, very God, being worshipped by billions of angels, by a multitude, heaven being what, as I said, a glimpse. And he left the splendors of heaven, came down to this mess. He lived a perfect life for 32 and a half years. He said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. I and my Father are one. He proved that because we have many religions saying that I represent God or I'm from God. Jesus proved he was God. He fulfilled over 300 prophecies of the Old Testament of Messiah, how he was going to be born, where, how he was going to die. Isaiah prophesied 750 years before Jesus was crucified about crucifixion had not even been invented yet.
Wow.
But Jesus left the splendors of heaven, came here.
Called a shot.
Yeah. Came here. Proved he was God.
Yeah.
He said, I have the power to forgive sin. I have the power to give life, to raise people from the dead, to heal people, to deliver people from demonic activity. And the thing is when he went to the cross, and I need to bring in, as you said, Mike, Easter.
Mm-hmm.
When he went to the cross, those very men that he created, he let them slaughter him.
Absolutely.
And the very cross that he was nailed to, he created that tree, and he let men fashion that tree into the most horrible torture device ever known by man.
And he carried it.
To
the hill.
And the nails that were driven through our Lord and Savior's hands to the tree, he created that metal, and he let men fashion it into the nails. And who are we talking about here? Are we talking about a thief on the cross? A sinner? No. We're talking about the perfect Son of God, and he let men do that to him.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he said, he did not say, I am a way. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but through me. And this all backs up to the incarnation, what we're going to be celebrating next week.
Yeah.
That God came to earth as Jesus Christ.
And we are thankful.
We are thankful.
Very
for
thankful. So,
yeah.
Be thankful.
Be thankful.
Celebrate the holidays. Love your family. Embrace them. But be thankful. Remind that the real reason, while you're sipping your cocoa and having your Christmas dinners and enjoying your Christmas lights and all of that stuff, please remember this is all through God.
Yeah.
And this is a celebration of that. And and you're going to see it in your children. You're going to see it in your loved ones, because that's where God lives.
Right. Can I say this and thank you for letting me.
No problem.
I challenge. This is a challenge to the person that might be an atheist or an agnostic. Okay?
Okay.
There are three things that prove that God's existence. Creation, because it's a scientific impossibility that nothing created everything.
Right.
The other thing is Jesus Christ, God in the flesh. He was written about by a Jewish historian. He was also he was a Pharisee. He did not believe that Jesus was the prophesied Messiah. His name was Josephus. And he wrote about Jesus as a historical figure. And he also, as a side note, he also wrote about John the Baptist and John the Baptist's death. Okay. So get a hold. He wrote 2 books. He wrote 2 books.
Okay. That's right. He's looking at his notes.
I'm sorry.
No biggie. He's just referencing his notes here.
He wrote Antiquities and the War of the Jews.
Okay.
So pick that up, and read it. Here's a man that didn't believe in Christ, but yet wrote about him from a historical standpoint. But there's a man named Lee Strobel. He was a Chicago journalist that he was an unbeliever. He married a woman that became a Christian.
Okay.
And he said to his wife, "You're crazy. You're goofy. This God coming to earth, it's Jesus Christ in the resurrection."
Right.
What happened was he began a 4-year investigation into the claims of Jesus and about Jesus. And what he did was he let the evidence lead him to the conclusion who Jesus said he was.
Okay.
He's written books such as The Case for Christ, The Case for the Resurrection, and the case for the Creator. Again, his name is Lee Strobel.
So he went from a non-believer to a believer through his own scientific research.
Correct.
Gotcha.
4 years. He wasn't like the Warren Commission, where they said this man killed the president.
Right.
Let's take the evidence and work
And
it
make it
around
fit
this
to that
one
narrative.
man.
Yeah.
Fit. Okay. Lee went off an atheist, skeptical, and he said at the end of my 4-year investigation, and this man's a brilliant man. As Christians, we don't leave our brains at the door.
Right.
Okay? There are men a lot smarter than I am, like a Lee Strobel, that did an honest investigation, and at the end, he said, Jesus is who he said he was, and I'm going to step out in faith and trust this Jesus, this man that died for me.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of God again, because like you said, with the free will, with the ability to choose and to do that stuff, God ain't worried. God's like, I come correct. You can do the questioning and all the digging you want. It's going to lead you back to me. So please do your research, do your questioning, do your due diligence, and I guarantee you the answer is going to come back to me. So go ahead and do it. That's God. God's basically telling you, question it, telling me what's going on and check it out. I got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
Mike, that's so good.
Yeah, that's God. That's God's plan.
Yeah,
it's all part of it.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
So we're out of time. We're running short on time here, but we'd love to invite you to come be a part of Christmas and Christmas Eve services at First Baptist Church here in Roswell, and just remind family and take a few moments to celebrate why we're celebrating Christmas and remind your family about it.
Let me throw this out.
Yes, sir.
Some people think, and you can think this, that you have to get all cleaned up to come to church. You have to wear
church clothes.
Nice church clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bible, the Apostle Paul talks against that. He said, and Jesus said, come as you are.
Yeah.
With this invitation to our celebration is for everyone. Everyone.
And if you want to come fancy, then you come fancy. If you don't want to come fancy, then don't come fancy.
Yeah.
We just want you to come.
Right.
That's it at the end of the day.
Come and celebrate with
That's
us.
right. You know, I know as kids, we're all been ingrained in our brain. Don't wear your holy pants. By holy, but not, holy, but got holes in it. We all grew up to that mindset. But yes.
Either
please.
that or that's a person that's been on their knees praying.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But so please just come.
Yeah. Thank you for
Thank you, Bob.
your time.
And Merry
Appreciate
Christmas to you and
Merry
your family.
Christmas
And
to
thank
you and
you
your
for everything you do to help people and to spread the message. Bob is a man who lives, breathes, and eats 24/7. He's always serving and helping, and even when it's not convenient for him. So we do appreciate that.
God is good.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, 8:52. I got a few commercials to pay for lunch, so we'll get that knocked out, and then we'll be back. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The State Corrections Department has identified an inmate who died at the Southern New Mexico Correctional Facility near Las Cruces as 22-year-old Richard M. Cresap. Cresap was serving a sentence for second-degree murder out of Rio Rancho for the killing of 15-year-old Alex Jackson. Last year, Cresap had been sentenced to serve 15 years behind bars. State police have said they are not ruling out homicide as the cause of death, but the investigation is ongoing. And a reminder that main city offices in Artesia will be closed on Monday and Tuesday next week. The solid waste transfer station will follow its regular hours on the 23rd, but will be closed on the 24th and 25th, reopening on the 26th. The cemetery gates will function automatically. Staff will be available on call. The water department will also have staff on call for emergencies, just like the streets and parks departments. Check artesianm.gov for all the details. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Hey everyone, with your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. Dan Quinn looks to play Grinch on Christmas Eve in Miami against the high-scoring, high-octane, blazing fast Dolphins offense. His scouting report on the league's top-scoring team right after this.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond, at McAllenAirport.com.
Becky Hammond on being the first woman to coach in the NBA.
What if it's no big deal that I'm a woman? What if it's about striving for excellence and being the best me?
It's not about where others say you should be. It's about where you want to go. It's about a financial services company that focuses on your measures of success. Whether it's for your home or business, we offer personalized service and expert advice to help you achieve your unique goals.
Visit swbc.com for financial services without the labels.
Cowboys coordinator Dan Quinn, whose defense is still mad about its missed tackles and Sunday's loss in Buffalo, has an arguably tougher challenge this Sunday in Miami against the top-scoring team in the NFL, the Dolphins, whose team speed and offensive arsenal is similar to the second highest-scoring offense in the NFL, the Cowboys. Quinn says don't blink Sunday because with all that speed, you may miss something.
These will be two fast groups going at it, for sure. We've got speed and they do too, so there's a little bit of the basketball spot with them too. A running back doesn't have to just be a running back. A receiver doesn't have to just be lined at receiver. We've got a couple of players like that, so maybe a little gamesmanship on both sides of people aligned in different spots and see how we can deploy them.
The game Christmas Eve in Miami is 3:25 Central. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
Taking the first steps to getting mental health care can be difficult, but you aren't alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our compassionate team of experts specialize in behavioral and mental health services for teenagers and adults. If you or someone you love needs help, don't wait. We're committed to understanding your unique needs and creating a treatment plan that's right for you. Request an appointment at our Artesia or Carlsbad offices by visiting artesiageneral.com/you matter.
Close your eyes and just imagine your special person opening up that gift of a sparkling diamond from Martin's Jewelry and Gift. See that smile? That's right, you did that. They'll open more presents this morning, but nothing will make them light up like yours just did. And that's when you say to yourself, I did good. Martin's has a large selection of diamond jewelry and Southwest jewelry in stock, perfect for someone special. 3301 North Main, Suite B in Roswell. From Pat and the staff at Martin's Jewelry and Gifts, have a Merry Christmas.
Pecos Valley Production is excited to announce their online ordering has never been easier because now you can order from PVP online in Spanish. Simply head for PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of your screen from English to Spanish. Now it's never been easier to get access to the healing and calming products you need simply and affordably. Just log on to PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of the screen from English to Spanish. Pecos Valley Production. Dairy to dank since 2016. Must be 21 or over with valid ID to purchase.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Whether you're a homeowner, a landscaper, or a contractor, we all have reasons to dig. If you're planning to dig, this is just a friendly reminder that locating underground utilities is important. It's actually the law. Call 811 3 days before you dig. New Mexico Gas Company is one of the utilities that will come out free of charge to mark our underground lines up to the meter, so you'll know what's below. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
The crisp air is reminding us that time is going by so quickly. It's already a new season. Isn't it time that you've thought about putting yourself first? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Don't wait another minute. Come in and learn how you can replace that broken tooth with a dental implant. Now you too can have the confidence to smile ear to ear.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. I was in the other room flapping my gums. I need to flap my gums here on the radio. It is closing in on 8:59. Stay tuned next hour here about 9:15 or so. We're going to play our interview we had yesterday in the 7 o'clock hour with Mari Manchengo. She's with the Tai Chi for Health Institute, and she does Tai Chi for beginners, for not beginners, and for people that's beyond beginners that are like, what's Tai Chi? Whatever it is, she helps. But, you know, the great part is she works a lot with seniors, and a lot of her work is now being by the New Mexico Department of Health, the CDC, a lot of Veterans Administration. A lot of the therapies and things she's teaching are now being endorsed by these entities and things like that. So it's great for seniors and with mobility issues, all that. But we'll play that interview and talk about that next hour. Town Hall News is up next. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Used home sales staged a bit of a comeback last month, rising 0.8% from October. This as mortgage rates, although still high, did ease somewhat, the average dropping below 7%. Also today, the Conference Board reporting consumer confidence is up this month, rising above analyst expectations. The Trump campaign will fight to keep Mr. Trump's name on Colorado's presidential ballot after that state's Democrat-appointed Supreme Court ruled that the former president could not appear on the primary ballot. This because of insurrection, something that Mr. Trump has not been convicted of or even charged with.
The Colorado Supreme Court's decision is the first of its kind, using the 14th Amendment to bar a presidential candidate. By a 4-3 vote, the court said Trump is disqualified from holding the office of president. The majority wrote, "We do not reach these conclusions lightly." The spokesman for the Trump campaign described the lawsuit as un-American and expressed confidence that the U.S. Supreme Court will quickly rule in favor of the former president. Greg Clugston, Washington.
And Mr. Trump did not mention the Colorado ruling at a rally yesterday in Waterloo, Iowa, but he talked about a lot of other things. And Iowa voter Dennis Tellen says he agrees with Mr. Trump that Biden immigration and border policy has been a catastrophe.
He opened the borders up. Look what it's doing. You can walk to any big city. This Waterloo's not a real big city. What's it got? 60,000 people. But it's just getting overrun. I mean, homeless people, and Donald Trump, when he was in, no wars. China was in check.
The illegal alien surge continues along the southern border. 12,600 people encountered by Customs and Border Protection on a single day this week. That's thought to be the highest 24-hour total since record-keeping started back in 1960. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 14 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Hamas says its top leader, Ismail Haniyeh, has arrived in Cairo for talks focusing on the war in Gaza.
Egypt, along with Qatar, where Haniyeh is believed to be based, have both played a key role as mediators between the militant group and Israel since the war that began with Hamas's October 7 incursion into Israel. Hamas says Haniyeh would discuss the war with Egyptian officials after having arrived in Cairo, but did not provide details. Negotiations are underway on another ceasefire and the release of more hostages held by the militant group, but the two sides are believed to be far from an agreement. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The French Parliament has has approved an immigration bill intended to strengthen France's ability to deport foreigners considered undesirable. The vote prompted a heated debate. The bill passed the lower house of Parliament, the National Assembly, with a 349 to 186 vote late yesterday. The bill had previously been passed through the French Senate. News and analysis at townhall.com. The U.S. population grew for a second straight year, according to the Census Bureau.
The increase of 1.6 million people is due to immigration and a drop in the number of deaths from the depths of the COVID-19 pandemic. More than two-thirds of the uptick came from international migration, bringing the nation's population total to 334.9 million people. After immigration declined in the latter half of last decade and dropped even lower amid pandemic restrictions at the start of this decade, the number of immigrants last year bounced back to almost 1 million people. Demographers say the U.S. population is projected to decline without immigration, since deaths will be outpacing births by the late 2030s. Norman Hall, Washington.
Coming in at 3.9% year over year last month, inflation in the United Kingdom has eased back to its lowest level in more than 2 years. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The sound of listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Yes.
The week before the Christmas holiday.
We are 5 golden rings status.
5 golden ring day.
That's right.
Nice. Nice. So we get to sing it out today.
5 golden rings. Or, if you're a redneck, 12 pack of Bud, 11 wrestling tickets, 10 to Copenhagen, 9 years probation, 8 table dancers, 7 pack of Redman, 6 cans of Spam, 5 flannel shirts.
Is that the Jeff Foxworthy?
Yes.
12 redneck.
4 Big Mud tires, 3 hunting dogs, 4. Shoot, I messed that up. I'd have to go back. I've failed my people.
Well, you know what? If you want to get good on this, you need to go back and find the Strange Brew 12 days.
Oh, in that case, it's 5 golden toques, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. All I remember is the day one is in a beer, in a tree.
Let's see. It's... Dang it. That's gonna drive me nuts because I used to know the Strange Brew version too.
Yeah, but that's where the true impressiveness lies. Is if you know the Strange Brew 12 days.
Or okay, since there's been so many versions of this song, the Bob Rivers 12 Pains of Christmas, of course, is 5 months of bills.
Although when I hear 5 golden rings and that. In my head, it's always done by the voice of Miss Piggy.
Really?
Yes, the Muppets version is the one that's always stuck in my head.
Very odd.
And so when it's Miss Piggy version, you're like, I hear Miss Piggy singing it. In my head, it's Miss Piggy that goes to that when I do the 5. And it's only the 5 golden rings.
Right.
Line. So
it's always funny which ones pop, which versions of whatever song you're thinking of pop in your head.
And if I remember the skit, and I don't that well, but I seem to remember something where Kermit was singing, and Miss Piggy's trying to crowbar in, and they finally let her crowbar in with the 5 golden rings or something. And that's it. I don't remember. It's been a few years since I've seen it.
She didn't want, they didn't want her to take the spotlight over. So she finally shoved her 5 golden rings.
Something along those lines. So that's why it's memorable that when I hear it, I hear the Miss Piggy version in my head. So
I figured out the other day that I can do a Kermit the Frog impression only just so long enough to say his name, which is just, hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. And after that, it takes this weird turn into something else entirely.
It gets into,
I can't maintain dialogue.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder how many, I got to look that up. Over the years, how many voices of official voices?
There's 3.
Okay.
Literally, it was Jim Henson until he died. And then it was his known backup, the guy who was his trusted.
When Jim took a day off, this guy would fill in. Gotcha.
I can't remember his name offhand. I'll have to look it up. And then he passed just recently, only a few years ago.
Okay.
And then after he passed, it was taken on by a new voice actor. But that was actually a whole controversy. No, actually, I don't think he died. I think he was just removed from the voice. Hang on.
What was his voice sounding old?
I think it was, there might have been a controversy. So Jim Henson and then Steve Whitmire. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, Matt Danner has since taken it over for the Muppet Babies version, as Frank Welker was the original Muppet Babies Kermit. And then on Sesame Street, Wim T. Shippers is the voice of. So yeah, Henson performed till his death in 1990. Then Steve Whitmire performed Kermit from that time until his dismissal in 2016.
Okay.
Since then, it's been performed by Matt Vogel.
Okay.
Since 2017.
Matt Vogel?
Matt Vogel, yes.
Is that a comedian?
It sounds really familiar.
He's not the guy from he's not the big dude. He's not the dude from that Adam Sandler Space Invader movie where Kevin James is president. What's that movie?
Pixel?
Pixel. That's not the big guy from Pixel, is it?
I don't think so. I think it's...
Isn't his name something like that? It's the conspiracy theory guy from Pixel.
Yeah, Matt Vogel. No, he's just a puppeteer.
Oh, okay.
But
isn't that guy's name something like that? Matt Vogel? Or
something
Matt,
like that.
Something like that? Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. It's not that guy, is it? Is he Kermit? Interesting.
Yeah, not that guy. No, Matt Vogel. Just another guy entirely.
I still don't know, so when I turn on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and Kermit's singing a song, which Kermit am I hearing?
At this point now, you're hearing Matt Vogel.
Okay.
But up until 2016, it was Steve Whitmire.
Okay.
I'm genuinely, there was a whole thing at the time that he was dismissed and nobody knew why. But then it came out, there was a whole controversy. So
did he get swept under the rug?
Let's see. Yeah, something happened. Something must have happened to him, man.
Something bad.
Until 2014 and 2016, respectively. Basically.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Why is it every time I have a question about things, what happened to that guy? We always looking at some controversial thing happened afterwards. That's pound for pound. That happens to me almost 80% of the time. I ask these questions out to the ether on the radio show.
It really is true. In July 2017, Muppet Studio announced Whitmire was no longer involved with Muppets, and fellow Muppets performer Matt Vogel was cast as Kermit's new performer. Whitmire revealed he was dismissed from his roles because of undisclosed issues that he said had not been discussed before his dismissal. In their decision-making, the Walt Disney Company, owner of the Muppet Studio, consulted the Henson family, who supported the recasting of Kermit and Whitmire's dismissal.
Translation? People didn't like him.
I'm guessing money.
And they liked the other guy better.
That or money. It was a contract
I
thing.
think it's a personal thing. I think this guy, he either did something to somebody or did somebody the wrong way that didn't like it, that had some power, and they said, get that clown out of there, and that's what happened.
Brian Henson stated that the issues with Whitmire began in the mid-'90s and said that Whitmire would make outrageous demands and often played brinkmanship, and additionally stated that Whitmire would send emails and letters attacking everyone, attacking the writing and attacking the director. He also expressed guilt for not dismissing Whitmire and recasting Kermit before selling the Muppets to Disney in 2004, because I knew this was going to be a real problem. This is coming from members of the Henson family.
Okay. So, sounds like he was a thorn in people's side, and they said, make Thorn go away, and Thorn did go away.
Another family member said he refused to have an understudy, for Kermit, and refused to train one, which became problematic when it became to B-level performances such as ribbon cuttings and some of the things that he was unwilling to appear at.
Well,
he was a bit of a prima donna.
Lesson learned, kids. If you try to be a problem to everybody, at some point they're going to find a way to replace you, no matter how valuable you are, even if you're Kermit the Frog.
Or you lose your mind and start quoting Adolf Hitler. It goes one way or the other.
That'll do her too.
Yeah, one way or the other.
All right, it is 9:14. There's your nugget of wisdom for today. Here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We will have a little bit of cloud cover today with a low-pressure system off to our west. We'll be in the mid-60s for the afternoon high. A few showers may come through for the overnight hours. We'll be in the mid-40s, and then a slight chance of an early shower on Thursday. We'll clear up in the afternoon with mid-60s, and then we get sunny skies on Friday, low 60s, maybe a few showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 71%. Winds calm at the moment. For today, we are looking at partly cloudy skies. Expect highs near 63 today. Winds will be calm out of the southwest at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, we are looking at a 30% chance of showers, mainly before 11 p.m. Mostly cloudy, 44 for an overnight low. For Thursday, mostly sunny. 65, winds out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, highs near 60, winds out of the north 5 to 10. Friday night and Saturday, we got rain chances, pretty good ones. 50% chance of rain for Friday night, mainly after 11 p.m., mostly cloudy, overnight low of 43. 50% chance of rain Saturday, mainly before noon, so the AM hours for rain chances on Saturday. Partly cloudy, 62 otherwise. For you Christmas Eve on Sunday, sunny and 60 for Christmas Day, mostly sunny and 52. All right, 9:15, we're going to take about a 4-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with Mari Manchengo. She's with the Tai Chi for Health Institute. She's got classes that are going on and gearing up here at the Salvation Army. She does amazing work, especially for seniors and people with limited mobility. So we're going to play that interview next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Here is your chance to get the furniture you've been dreaming of. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and it's time for a sale. We are giving additional discounts on everything in the store. That new bedroom set you've had your heart set on, a dining table for new family members, even artwork to enhance your space. It's all here right now at discounted prices. Don't miss out on this rare sales event. Come see us at Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Check out some of the holiday helper bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Assorted Pillsbury Crescent rolls are $2.98 each, and cans of Campbell's cream of mushroom or cream of chicken soup are 5 for $5. In produce, 2-pound bags of Halo mandarins and 10-pound bags of russet potatoes are $2.97 each. In the meat department, Cook's Shake Portion bone-in hams are 97 cents a pound, and bone-in standing rib roasts are $6.99 a pound. These are just some of the holiday helper savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. This Christmas, Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for. With a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, ranges, washers, and dryers. And they can repair your appliances as well. With many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair warranty and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too. Plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you. People who speak Spanish and will listen to what you need. Merry Christmas from all of us at Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
Roswell Nissan's deal days are here, and that means the most wonderful deal of the year. Rates as low as 0% for 60 months for qualified buyers, 10 grand off new Armadas, 13 grand off new Titans, and top dollar for your trade. And with the largest selections of new and pre-owned inventory in the state, Roswell Nissan has what you need, priced to move, with payments as low as $175 a month on quality pre-owned vehicles and a team of experts ready to make it the most wonderful deal of the year. Hurry to Roswell Nissan now before the deal is gone. Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd. When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7, and the Candlewood Cupboard 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood Gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo and grills. And the Candlewood Lending Locker for stuff you couldn't pack like crock pots, board games, and more. Call 575-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home. The holidays are here, and the Honey Depot is on Santa Watch. The Honey Depot is the little store with so much more. You'll find sleighfuls of amazing one-of-a-kind gift items for everyone, even the humbugs on your list. It's a veritable winter wonderland of decor and gifts. Everything from candles to soaps, books, Bible study journals, home decor, children's toys, stocking stuffers, local honey, seasonings, candies, and more. Open Monday through Friday, 11 to 5:30, Saturdays 10 to 6, and Sundays 1 to 6 at 104 West Hermosa Drive in Artesia. Before Santa slides down your chimney, slide on in. Merry Christmas from the Honey Depot.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water-diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating two companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us. And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us back in studio, Maddie's back with us from the Tai Chi for Health Institute. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm very well. It's very early, but I'm very well.
Well, it's nice to see you in the 7 o'clock hour too. Usually, but for folks that aren't familiar, Maddie's been joining us for about 4 or 5 years now, I think. It's been almost that long.
Right.
Telling us and introducing Southeast New Mexico to Tai Chi.
Right.
Not as so much a self-defense martial art, but as for health and exercise and kind of aligning mind, body, and soul a little bit here.
Right, sure.
And so you and your jam is really teaching for beginners, people that from all walks of life, some folks, and that's the other thing. There is no, you could be old enough to walk, you could be 137. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
She's got Tai Chi.
You're 137. You have something to teach me. I will learn from you.
But really, from anywhere in between, any level of your physical fitness, Tai Chi can benefit you. Right. That's the beauty of it, is whether you could even be bound in a wheelchair or not having mobility issues, things, you can still benefit from the results of Tai Chi.
Oh, goodness. Yes.
And that's the whole point. That's what she tells you. It's like, I don't care how out of shape or how invalid you are. Tai Chi for health is something that any human being can do and get benefit. So that's your message that you kind of spread across the land here. So, but I guess you got some classes coming up. And
I do.
Too.
I'm adding a very beginning class, although beginners can come into any of the classes.
So people, this is like the class saying, "What's Tai Chi?"
Right. So, are you asking me a question?
No, I'm just saying that's when you say beginner.
Oh,
I'm like, people are like, all right, Tai Chi, I've never heard of that word. All right, tell me what it means.
Oh, what it means? Tai Chi is about 1,000 years old. It's from China.
Right.
And there are 5 major families of Tai Chi, and what I teach is Sun style, and it's a little newer, not quite as old.
Okay.
But
it's only like
a few hundred.
Hundreds of years, not thousands of years old.
But Tai Chi originally, there's so much history behind it. But the Kung Fu masters, who were the elite of the emperor's defense warriors, would practice Tai Chi about 2 hours a day before they started their Kung Fu practice.
So it's kind of like they're stretching and warming up for the other trainings.
And deepening the very deep strengthening and getting it all together to where then you could do it fast.
Gotcha.
But this is what they did. And so the Sun style is a little different in that it's not spread out wide. You see a lot of Tai Chi on TV where the hands are out and there's bending. Sometimes there's getting low to the ground.
Right.
Sun style is more, it's smaller. It's more contained.
Okay.
And it was developed for rehabilitation, for strengthening, for building more chi,
So
which
is it
is
more
energy.
like a foundational or core type, like designed to work on the core parts of your body?
Well, they all are.
Okay.
But this is easier to grasp, and there's no wrong answers.
Gotcha.
But it's really good for beginners. It's good for anyone, actually. But if you're going to start learning Tai Chi, or if you're curious about it, this is the type of class you want to be in.
Gotcha.
Right. And so you were going to ask me a question. Go ahead.
I was just kind of curious, since we're kind of talking about the different styles. Is when we talk the Tai Chi, because it seems like people when they're practicing Tai Chi, it's very deliberate, very like it almost like I think part of the genius of how it works is it forces you to slow down and focus purely on the movements and what you're doing, and kind of where it's where when you're working out, sometimes you're even working out to like, all right, I just got to get through this set because it's hurting.
While I'm watching television and all that
where
stuff.
the Tai Chi's like, no. Turn all that nonsense off. We're here. You're focused on moving exactly right. You're breathing, making sure every part of your body's aligned, doing what it's supposed to. I mean, am I kind of, is that kind of where it's
that's correct. It works on many different levels.
Yeah.
It's a very mindfully moving form. So it helps with, that's more of the meditative martial art aspect of it. So you get more mindful, you get slower. I don't care what you show up with in terms of stress in your life or anxiety or trouble sleeping. And the mental, emotional realms, Tai Chi helps balance that. It helps calm you. It lowers high blood pressure. It's just really wonderful for that aspect. That's not even the truly more physical aspect.
Well, and that's something that, and for folks that don't know, you've had, you like I said, you've been with us for multiple years coming in, and a lot of times you'll bring some of your students with you. Yeah. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. A lot of times the students she brings with her are seniors. And there are people that were one or two, I think, were even in a wheelchair at one point. And through their just Tai Chi and stuff, not only did they come out of the wheelchair, but they're moving. They find their people that were limited in movement are finding less limitations on that movement. Right. People, like you said, that are just, when some of those other skills start to decline, this kind of slows that process and even helps regenerate some of that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that's the beauty of this.
My youngest student that drops in occasionally is 29. Most of my students are 50, 60, 70, and Bill, who was in last, is 93. 93. I didn't know if that came out right. But so all ages are welcome. And seated people are also welcome. Now, this program, this is actually this Tai Chi for Health Institute has many programs of Tai Chi.
There's many different styles, types.
Yes, for different things.
Depending
Dr.
on what
Lamb
you're trying to do here.
Right. This is the Tai Chi for Health and Arthritis, which is what we call the flagship program. This is the program because Dr. Lamb had arthritis, adolescent rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's a medical Western medicine physician, but also does Tai Chi to help his arthritis and other things.
So he's kind of the best of both worlds, bringing the East and the West together for the, which is kind of when just me personally, when it comes to medicine, I'm like all on the table here, because let's face it, you look at, some of the medicine going on there and it's like, well, they've been doing it for thousands of years. Things that don't work aren't done for thousands of years. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, Dr. Lamb and his family arrived in Australia when he was 13, and there was a lot of strife in China at the time, and it was very difficult for his family. So they moved to Australia, and he grew up wanting to be a doctor. He wanted to help people. And when he graduated from medical school, his rheumatoid arthritis was so severe. He couldn't really function. So he started taking Tai Chi. It was recommended to take some Tai Chi. So he started just taking Tai Chi classes and couldn't believe at how much better he felt, how it was affecting his mobility, his range of motion, his thinking, his balance. So he ended up stopping his practice and moved to China and studied in depth, immersed himself in Tai Chi for a year. So he learned much about then the Eastern medicine. And then when he got back to Australia, he still spent a few more years trying to integrate them. Yeah, it works, but why does it work from my context? Because he was raised with Western medicine.
Gotcha.
So he finally he finally found the answers to what he needed to know about why this works medically. And then he created with some other peers Tai Chi for Health Institute in the 90s. And it was adopted. This particular program was the first program they offered, and it was adopted nearly immediately by the CDC here in this country, which is a worldwide.
Once they greenlit something, then it puts on everybody's radar.
And I think we're in 34 countries now.
Oh, wow.
So I'm internationally certified, which means I can go anywhere in the country because it is the same program wherever you go. You learn how to teach the program. And but anyway, so it's very good for fall prevention, and the Department of Health adopted this program here, New Mexico Department of Health. So it's one of our fall prevention programs.
That's what keeps you busy.
Oh, yeah. And you don't fall because most of us do not fall. I don't care how old you are. You don't fall because you're not strong enough, because you don't know how to walk. We fall because we're not paying attention. Or sometimes the older we get, one of the Tai Chi principles is the golden thread, which is your posture and creating the uprightedness and the head over the neck where it belongs, not sticking out in front. And but many people fall because they're leaning forward and they are actually afraid to fall. And so it affects the posture, and then the not being mindful about how you place your feet. You fall. So anyway, this helps.
Makes sense.
Mindfulness too.
Sure.
But and the Veterans Administration now has adopted the program, the Arthritis Foundation.
Because there's just a track record of proven results from it.
It's evidence-based. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
And so the medical world has stepped on board to this program.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I think, even if, the average Joe and Jane out there don't understand, how it works per se, but I just, to me, I think about it, and especially when you were talking about the fall prevention stuff, and it kind of cemented what I'm thinking is that's, at the end of the day, I think what the beauty of Tai Chi is it's really forcing all aspects of you to focus on one thing. And, like you were talking about, we don't fall because we're older, we fall because we're not paying attention or and I think that's part of it is even when we work out or do things, we're doing it to get through it or doing it to, because I've got to do it. And you're just kind of going through the motions of working out sometimes. I think where this actually forces you to pay attention to your body, what's going on, seeing, when I do this, my body does this, and forces you to really pay attention to that stuff. And it really is putting your body in tune with yourself.
Right.
And that's where I think Tai Chi is so great and why we're seeing such great results, because I think it forces the body to put everybody on the same page. And it reminds us, oh yeah, we're not all going in the same direction here. Tai Chi says, let's put everybody back in the same direction here. And I think deep down, that's where it is to it. That's the trick to Tai Chi is not a trick per se, but that kind of the golden key there is it's forcing every part of you to be in sync, working in concert. And once that happens, then the body can do amazing things.
Right.
And I feel
it's not as easy as you would think.
I would guess.
In terms of putting this motion together with this foot and stepping in a particular way, because we get gummy bare feet. And so there's a lot to it. And in terms of the brain health, not only is there the balancing, the calming, the better breathing, more oxygen and other things I'll address, but brain health is really important. And they say do crossword puzzles as you get older, keep your brain healthy.
Sure.
But your thinking will improve because you're asking your brain to do things it's never done before.
Sure.
So we're creating new brain pathways. Actually, neurologically, it improves your brain. So brain injury people are recommended to take Tai Chi.
Excellent.
To help the brain health. Yeah.
It's you wouldn't think of that, but the moment you say it, I'm like, of course it does. It makes sense here. But you wouldn't have thought to apply it to that.
Right.
But once you say it, I'm like, it makes complete sense because Tai Chi's all about getting, like you said, getting everything in concert. And let's face it, the brain's is the central computer of our bodies. It's the thing that tells everything else to do, where it goes, and they always hear things about, how we don't use our brain to full potential and things like that. And I feel like these are the pathways to unlock some of those other, what else can our brain do here?
Right.
What else we got,
Or, oh my gosh,
What
I
other
can't believe
features?
I can't get this right now. What's going on? It's your brain getting in the way. And I just tell people, relax. It's just brain habit.
Sure.
This will happen. But in terms of physical now, can I talk about
Absolutely.
physical? Okay.
Yeah.
So people that are used to doing, and I love weights, and I'm thinking I need to add some more upper body stuff. So weightlifting and whatever your exercise programs are great. What is so powerful about Tai Chi and how deeply strengthening it is in terms of core and muscle usage? Because the movements are circular. We're not there, but you're not doing linear.
They can see it on the TV.
Oh, okay.
We just
but we're
can't.
not doing linear weightlifting, which is great, very good. But you're using just a few basic gross muscles, larger muscles.
Gotcha.
But Tai Chi, because it is circular, and spiral, it gets into the joints and the very small muscle groups that we don't use much and that we don't exercise.
Makes sense.
And it's the smaller muscle groups and the tendon and ligament that doesn't have a lot of blood flow normally. Because we're moving circularly, we bring more nourishment from the blood into the actual joints, and then the waste matter, we need to take the waste matter of cells away.
So it's kind of detoxifying some of those muscles.
And so that's the physical aspect. It truly is amazing how powerful you can get through Tai Chi. But also, it is based on Chinese medicine. So we have Chinese meridians in the body, and you don't have to think about it or believe in it. However, what we know in Tai Chi is that we're also working with organs. When I pass a hand over here, I'm stimulating some of my meridians. So I'm supporting my heart, I'm supporting my lungs, I'm supporting my kidneys and my liver. And so you even have organ improvement. And there's some things that we learn because Sun style Tai Chi, which is what this is, incorporates something called Qigong, which some people have heard. It's another Chinese movement form. It's very gentle and very contained. We throw a little Qigong in Sun style, and it also creates more healing possibility even than some of the other forms of Tai Chi.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd be even willing to guess, because once you start doing it on a regular basis, you start seeing like some of the, like you were talking about earlier with some of the movements and everything circular. And so it's getting work to some of the other joints and muscles that sometimes get looked over when you're doing other forms of exercise.
Right.
And by default doing that, it's kind of detoxifying and clearing out some of these areas.
Yeah.
Which end result means, I'm going to guess, people that are dealing with some pain issues, maybe even sleep issues, things like that, they're going to see some of those problems lessen or disappear just by doing Tai Chi in a regular program or regular time frame.
Yeah, sure. So it will improve health. It does help your sleep. There are tools that you learn to help with anxiety. And there's a little of that going around these days.
Absolutely.
So it's very good for anxiety and sleep. And I don't care how I come into a class. Well, coming to class makes me happy anyway. But whatever is happening externally in my environment, I come into class and I feel better mentally and emotionally. I feel better in my body. I feel stronger. And it stays with me much of the day. And if it doesn't, I'll do a little bit of an open close, which is good for anxiety and blood pressure and all that stuff. And it's like, it's just during COVID, kind of saved my life.
I would imagine it could have. And
I was a cool cookie.
Well, and here's the thing too. It's a lot of the stuff you teach and do you can do anywhere at any time. You don't. So like if you're at the office or you're at home, you know, and you're not able to jump up and do all, but there's some stuff you can do at the desk or while you're in a small confined space. You know, if you're traveling on an airplane here in the next couple of weeks here, there's things you can do that help you get through those
great.
things.
I'm glad you brought that up.
So it's not, you know, it's not just, oh, I take the class 3 times, twice a week or whatever it is. You know, you could do this stuff at home on the daily and the regular at just your everyday life and have your navigating through life when you have these moments of, you know, of issues. Sometimes there are things you can do through Tai Chi that kind of recenter you and just kind of, all right, let me focus me back on what my task at hand and not deal so much with the thing that was bothering me earlier.
You just keep bringing these things up that I forget to mention. That's great. I did a whole lot of traveling for a while, back and forth across the country, seeing family and such. And I've done different movement forms for many years of my life that helped me. And I realized I want to get back to Tai Chi because I'd had a little bit of it when I was in massage school 35 years ago. And,
just a week or two.
And that I could get out of the car at the park in Oklahoma off the highway, and I can do some things to help my back and my shoulders and my mind, and you know. So I started investigating Tai Chi again, and that's when I found. And I wanted to teach something to. I mean, I've taught movement therapy to other people, but this is something that people kind of know, and there's a little more interest and willingness to take a look to your average person who doesn't know some of the other forms that I know. But so when I found the Department of Health was actually helping us get trained internationally through the Institute, they were collaborating with the Institute to teach this, to teach us, to teach other people. Of course, there's nothing like being a teacher to help you.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm very grateful that I came by this.
But then, too, as a teacher, you're always growing and learning, too.
Sure.
So I imagine it, you know, it by default forces you to push your own envelopes and boundaries and do things that maybe are out of your comfort zone.
That's right.
Kind of thing.
That's
But if you're just learning about this and you're thinking, this is something I need to do, good news is Monty's been doing this for years and is always offering classes and things to help you start your journey towards a better you, a healthier you, a better feeling you. You know, New Year's resolution season's right around the corner, and we all know what happens there 99% of the time. This is something that you can do that will actually be... I'm not a fan of resolutions for that very reason, but this would be one you probably can stick with because this is for all levels. It doesn't matter if you're Mr. or Mrs. Olympian or I haven't seen a physical education activity in 30 years. It doesn't matter where you're at. Tai Chi is going to benefit you. It will provide you because it's at your level. It's wherever you are. If you can only move your neck, then guess what? We can benefit from that.
That's right. That's true.
If you have full movement, then we're going to benefit from that too. That's where Tai Chi can help. So.
Exactly. And I'm going to give you some information about classes and such in a minute. But I want to also speak to if you do need to be seated. People tend to think, oh, I can't do Tai Chi because my balance is bad or because I don't feel too strong or I can't do it. And Americans are kind of funny and silly like that because it's like, I have to know how to do something before I get into the class. No. You come learn.
We are the people that brush our teeth for 10 minutes before we go to the dentist for a cleaning. We clean our houses before the housekeeper comes to clean the house.
That's right. That's so stupid. But anyway, so I want to just mention seated. Seated Tai Chi, I have to tell you, is actually my favorite. I love to teach it.
You can do it anywhere, too.
You can do it. I mean, it's true. But you can do standing anywhere. You just don't know. But nobody else knows what you're doing. But
people think you have to go to the bathroom or something.
But I encourage people, for instance, if you have bad knees and you want your knees to be stronger, start with seated. But seated is another level above standing, especially as you're beginning. Once you become more intermediate, you can actually access all this stuff easily when you're standing, all the stuff, the musculature. But seated, it is quite a robust workout. I start sweating when I do seated because we are pressing. We're not just lifting like you do in other chair exercises.
Gotcha.
We are twisting. We are seated. We are upright. We're doing this great breath. We're pressing against the floor. You're accessing even your glutes in a way that sometimes people have to work at finding when they're standing. And the glutes is the biggest back muscle. And we kind of forget about that.
Sure.
So don't poo-poo even doing seated. If you feel like you must or you might be interested, it is a powerful exercise program.
Well, and how many of your clients have also, they started only be able to do seated stuff.
Right.
But because they did that, now they're doing the standing stuff because guess what? They've got more flexibility. They've got more movement. They've got just an overall better feeling body.
Right.
Yeah.
I had one client or student who was, 70s for sure. But she had balance issues, and she was a seated student. She said, this is helping me so much with my balance. You know how I can tell? I said, no. She said, well, before when I would paint my toenails, which she would have to hold on and this is how she did it. She'd put her foot up on the toilet seat and she'd be hanging on to stuff and I would be a wreck. I'd look like a massacre. My feet. Oh God, I don't ever do my own feet. But she said, now I can just stand there with one foot up on the toilet seat, one foot and do my toenails. That's a really big shift.
Absolutely.
In your balance, that you're strong in your core, that you can do that. And that was from seated. So, yeah.
And those are the victories of people. And I also think it just gives your body confidence to do. Like you were saying earlier, people don't want to try it unless they know they can do it. And I think at some point, this actually overcomes that because the seated exercises and things not only made her body physically better, but her mind and gave her the confidence. So she's like, shoot, I could do this no problem now, and so what else can I do?
Right.
And so that's where the mind and body all start to get on the same team here a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
And we have a lot of fun. We're very cool people. We're fun. We're very friendly. And we have fun. We end up being a family.
I guarantee anybody's going to benefit from it. If you give it an honest effort and come in willing to learn, I guarantee when you're done after your first session, you're going to see an improvement in your way you feel and just an understanding of where your path goes next on this too.
Right. And the Veterans Administration has adopted this now because they see the benefit with even paralysis. So there is always something that improves, and we use our mind. One of the things that we always do is one of the principles. If you can't complete a movement, and it could be lifting your leg, it could be, you think of it. You think of the movement, and athletes do this. Olympians do this. Football players do this. Because when you actually think of something, of a movement, you're stimulating the neurology and the musculature and the blood flow, and you are already creating that movement, which makes you move towards physically
makes sense
doing it.
I would even argue that it's no different than like if you're reading a book or doing a research paper or something. Your brain's kind of doing the same thing just for that task, if that makes sense. And so your body is doing the exact same thing, but for a physical nature thing, not a mental thing, so to speak.
There's a training program coming up, Mike.
Okay. But it just all makes sense when you think about it in those terms. It's we as human beings have created some great inventions and done, some amazing things on this earth.
Indeed.
But at the end of the day, we still haven't beat the human body. The human body is still one of the greatest mysteries and inventions of our time here. And we're still learning its capabilities and what it can do and all of that stuff. And this all helps us get to those levels and to see what's next here. So please sign up for these classes. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about classes.
Okay.
You know what? With the holidays around the corner, if you want to give the gift of health here, this is a great sign up your family members or yourself. Do it together. Sign up for classes together. Make that as your Christmas gift. We're gonna, maybe you're into that resolution thing. Well, set yourself up for success with your resolution by actually signing up and doing things that's proactive towards that goal.
Yeah. Good. Very good. Thank you. So these are my Roswell classes. I also teach in Ruidoso.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that in a minute. So we're adding the very beginning Roswell class right now. And it's going to be starting on the first Monday, which is the 8th, I think, in January.
Okay. I think it's the same day all the kids go back to school, right around that time.
Yeah. So the beginning class is at 1:30.
Okay.
And if you are brand new to Tai Chi, I suggest you take that class. Now, that is only the beginning at 1:30 on Mondays.
Okay.
And I also invite people, because twice a week is really good, I invite those beginning people to come into the Thursday class, which is at 3:30.
Okay.
Now, the Thursday class is just a basic, ongoing class. So you're learning the very beginning breakdowns on Monday at 1:30.
So you kind of learn the techniques on Monday and putting it into practice on Thursday.
Exactly. And then Thursday you join the others. It is a basic Tai Chi for Health class. And then I also teach at 2:30, and I have some other students that have not come back after COVID. So if you're listening, I'm telling you, we also have the 2:30 to 3:30
Come on back.
Monday class. We have 1:30 to 2:30
Wear your mask if you feel better, whatever you got to do, but we're having it.
2:30 to 3:30 is what we're calling the intermediate class.
So some people that maybe have a little bit of experience.
Yeah,
maybe
they got the forms.
Maybe
they might forget them, but they'll be fine.
Maybe they took for beginners last year.
Right,
and now they're ready for the next level. Yeah.
And then also on Thursday, I should have done Monday, 1:30, 2:30 beginning, 2:30, 3:30 intermediate. Thursdays is the 3:30 is the ongoing basic class for anybody. And then from 4:30 to 5, I'm doing the Tai Chi 2.
Okay.
Which is, you have to have the first part. So if
Gotcha.
you haven't had any of the first part.
Can't have Tai Chi
But we have
2 without
different
one.
levels, and that's very cool. It's very accessible. So I teach at Salvation Army.
Okay.
And if this is your first time you come and you think, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I don't want to pay him. Come to your first class. If you end up saying, I just cannot stand this class, then it's free to you, a gift from me. Happy New Year.
Guarantee, though, you're probably not going to say that because
I doubt it.
she's going to show you
Nobody
some
ever
things.
does that.
And you're going to be like, this
But
is useful.
it's okay. Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah. So from then on, people can either pay per class or I let them pay per month.
Okay.
So you can pay per class, which is $10, or
Okay.
you can pay per month.
Whatever's kind of more convenient for you.
Well, it's a little cheaper if you pay per month.
Okay.
And if you're not going to be there for all the classes, well, prepay to save money, what you're going to be if you're going out of town, whatever.
Yeah, if you got vacation plans or whatever.
And a lot of people get paid monthly, and so it seems to work commitment-wise easier for people per month.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So how, if you please reach out, sign up. Probably there's several different ways that you can sign up here.
Yep.
You can always call her at 575-626-7150. Again, that's 575-626-7150. You can always shoot an email. Health First, that's health1st at yahoo.com. Or check out the Tai Chi for Health Institute.org website as well, too.
Yes.
And that way, if you want to learn a little bit more about the Tai Chi Institute, the kind of go a little bit more in depth
And
in
the
what we're
programs.
talking about, that's probably your best resource. Go
Right,
there.
and I'm on there. If you're looking for instructors that are certified, then you'll find me.
Yeah,
My
so
contact there.
That way, you can learn a little bit more, but kind of, do your own little reading and research on some of the what's behind the scenes going on with Tai Chi and what, like you said, there's different styles and forms and different ways, different types to meet different needs.
Right.
And so learn a little bit about that because maybe your needs are a little bit different than someone else on that. And so maybe what you do in Tai Chi is going to be a little different than what someone else does.
Right,
and
right.
So that's the beauty of it.
Right. And I am on Facebook, and my last name is Manchego, Manchego.
I just call her Mahdi because that's...
Mahdi is easy. It's easy. Yeah. But M. Manchego, you'll find me. And I do post I post my classes as an event.
Okay.
And so I make them public. So if you just look up Tai Chi for Health,
you'll
find
maybe tack in a Roswell and
Roswell,
that we can get more specific on the Roswell stuff.
But I'll come up for sure.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah. And can I talk about Ruidoso
Absolutely,
for a minute?
Because we do have our Ruidoso listeners too. So.
Yes, right. And I am teaching at the Faithful Fern.
Okay.
And I have to say I forgot my poster for that, so I don't have the exact address, but it's Faithful Fern.
Okay.
If anybody goes to Ruidoso, it's across from the Postal Annex where they're now. And
So in the heart of
Rosemary's,
downtown there.
the Rosemary, it's Midtown, I guess.
Yeah.
Rosemary's Herb Store, it's in that same complex.
Good deal.
There's a pizza place.
So you can go
It's across from the Cornerstone Bakery.
Oh.
A little advertisement for them. But anyway,
So
Faithful Fern.
there are temptations nearby.
Oh, goodness. Good food. But my classes there are once a week at this point. It's on Thursdays, and it's noon to 1 on
Very
Thursdays.
good. So for folks in Ruidoso, or maybe have family there, tell them. Tell the words. If maybe you're here, but you got some family up in Ruidoso that could benefit this, spread the word. Let them know Monty's also there too.
Right. And the Department of Health has this information also. So call the local office here because, of course, Department of Health highly recommends this program.
Absolutely.
So,
well, there's a reason the CDC, the Department of Health, the Veterans Administration are all
Arthritis Foundation
are all stepping up to do.
Yeah.
And I was thinking here in the 9 o'clock hour we have the Alzheimer's Association. I would bet some of their folks could probably find some benefits.
As a
from Tai
matter
Chi.
of fact, I went on a sojourn during COVID. What a brave person to go see family back east. But I was in South Carolina for a while, staying with a friend of mine with my little camper on her place. And her dad has Alzheimer's, and it was the senior facility there. And it's just, I'm going to stay here for an extra month to teach this program. And it was seated, although all of them are mobile, except one, but they were ambulatory, I guess I should say. But the attention needed to be seated for their mental capacities.
Sure. Yeah,
they were
makes
lovely. Sense. They loved it. And I got the most glowing letter from the administrator because she popped in to see the class. And I could have run for president on that letter. I saved it. But, it does work with dementia.
Yeah.
I mean,
I to be honest, I don't think we understand all the different ways it could help.
Right.
I think we're still learning that, to be honest.
Right.
So. Monty, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas if I don't see you between now and then. And we will see you in a hopefully prosperous 2024 here.
Right. Very.
The Dow closed at a record high yesterday for the 5th day in a row. General Mills slid about 3% after it missed analysts' second quarter sales targets and lowered certain elements of its full-year forecast. At 3.9% year-over-year last month, inflation in the UK has eased back to the lowest level in more than 2 years. Some Tesla workers in Sweden have gone on strike. The job action is sparking sympathy strikes by union workers across the country and in some other Nordic nations. Roughly 130 Tesla mechanics in Sweden walked out after the EV maker refused to sign a collective bargaining agreement. No Tesla employees anywhere belong to a union. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
'Tis the season of savings at Big O Tires. Unwrap peace of mind this holiday season with trusted tires and auto service from your locally owned and operated Roswell Big O Tires. Now through January 7th, save up to $140 on select sets after mail-in rebate. All with multiple financing options available for any budget and any situation. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
The Fergalicious boys can keep you hot this winter. Fergalicious. Oh yeah, it's getting cold out there, and Fergie's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep things hot in your home. They can come by and winterize your pipes and check your insulation, and you know they'll do it with nothing but love. Oh yeah, baby. Call the Fergalicious boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating at 622-2660. When you need it hot, Fergie's is on the job. Fergalicious.
Rosa, have you decided where you're going to college yet?
There's so many choices. I'm still not sure.
Well, I've decided to attend the University of New Mexico. It's the only Research One university in the state. It's the flagship, and their academic programs are among the best in the nation.
The University of New Mexico? Can I still apply?
Of course. UNM is New Mexico's best university, and residents of New Mexico get preference in admission. Apply now, and we'll attend UNM together.
The University of New Mexico, New Mexico's University of Opportunity. Apply today at unm.edu.
Life is better when you can just be. Be yourself. Be worry-free. Be at your best. Now you can be confident knowing the health insurance you find through Be Well NM has you covered for checkups, prescriptions, and more. Be Well NM can help connect you to a plan that may cost as little as $10 a month. It's time for you to be happy, be healthy, be insured. Let Be Well NM connect you to a health plan that's right for you and your wallet so you can just be. Call 1-833-2BE-WELL or visit BeWellNM.com.
There's a Honda for every holiday adventure. Whether it's traveling to the holiday family dinner in an efficient Accord hybrid, or heading to a hike to burn it off in a powerful CR-V hybrid. Find your new Honda during Happy Honda Days. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2024 Accord hybrid and 2024 CR-V hybrid.
Happy Honda Days are here, and just in time for the best deal of the year. Visit Roswell Honda today.
See dealer for financing details.
Merry Christmas from everyone at National Furniture Liquidators in Roswell. Now through Christmas, drop off toys at NFL's 203 East McGaffey location in Roswell and receive Santa-sized discounts. Drop off one toy, get 10% off. Drop off two toys, get 20% off. Drop off three toys, get 30% off. You get the idea. Drop off up to 5 toys and get 50% off. All the toys will be given away this Christmas. Merry Christmas from everyone at National Furniture Liquidators, 203 East McGaffey in Roswell.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
The Trump campaign says